Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 219. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Mr. Emilio Lopez.
What's up, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
What up, what up?
Brian Manjoma.
Super Bowl or Superb Owl.
Yes. And Mr. Adam Vale.
Back on steroids and hitting the gym.
All right. Yeah, speaking about that, we got two guys returning. Adam and Chris are back, baby. Let's go.
Oh,
man, you down with the sickness?
down with the sickness.
Get up,
two returning, one leaving.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Brett ain't here. Yeah, yeah, Brett. He has other things going on. Very interesting that we're not going to talk about live unless he wants to bring it up. But whatever. Yeah, no further unless anybody wants to talk about the Super Bowl real quick. Carlos, I'm looking at you.
It was boring.
Yeah, I want to. No, but it was good defense. It was toward the end. It built a lot of tension because you're like, damn, well, it's one touchdown away from ending this fucking game. But it was good. I liked it. I'm a big Tom Brady fan. Patriots. I hate when people hate.
Of course you are.
Thing. Of course. Yeah, I don't
Patriots.
see people hate winners. That's the problem. People hate when you keep winning.
People hate New Yorkers who root for Boston teams.
No. We don't even have a real New York team. They're all in fucking Jersey, so I don't even want to hear that shit. I can root for however I want to root for Patriots. I root for Patriots. Fuck it. Always rooted for the Patriots. I like the Patriots.
Damn the Patriots!
Yeah, it was a boring game. Like I think at one point in the game, there were more punts than there were completions made by the fucking quarterback in the Rams. And it's like, I don't know, the star running back was hurt, and it was just like no offense whatsoever. Like some defense was played pretty good, but most of it was just.
Hey, there was sacks. There were some sacks going on there.
I think the Rams defense was good, but the Rams offense was horrendous. They just weren't there for the moment, man. They didn't fucking come up and live to the hype. But Texas and fucking Tom Brady and Bill Belichick winning the Super Bowl.
And Gronkowski, man, the guy's a beast. But now he's going to WWE, so he's ready. He's done. He'll be champ soon. So he's already said that much. So we'll see him in that new career.
The funny thing is, because my nephew's staying with me this week, and he's a Super Bowl guy, a football guy. So I let him watch the game. So I had it in the background. I haven't watched football in decades, and that shit was boring as a motherfucker, man. And the people on Twitter, I'm like, okay, so it's not just me then,
No, it definitely wasn't just you. I was gonna say something like, is he a football fan or is he a football fan?
Yeah, no, no, football. He hates foot. He thinks that's boring as fuck. He's like, I'm not trying to watch a game for 3 hours just to see somebody score once.
But has he ever played the game? Like, that's one thing that I noticed when I was growing up. A lot of people that would say that, and until they actually play it and see how big the field is, and then they see that it's all about teamwork and it is hard, and then they're like, damn, all right, now I get the appreciation for one goal because it's not easy. The field is massive. It's bigger than an American football field.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into that. If you like, football, that's cool. But to me, I'm like, come on, man. Like, to me, the sport I like is basketball because it's constant action. It's constant. But at the same time, I understand that with basketball game, the only time that the game counts is the last 5 minutes.
Exactly.
I understand that.
That's the downfall. Yeah. So a game is like, yo, I gotta go watch that game. It's like, I'll tune in the fourth quarter.
That's what you need. But to me, it's action packed, so that's better. It's more entertaining. Like football is like they run and they get stopped. I'm like, stop stopping them. Just go, keep scoring. But I'm
fun to watch too. You watching hockey?
Yeah.
No, off topic.
Yeah, we're already off topic.
Do we have any Anthem questions by any chance?
Yes, we do actually.
They canceled it. Due to lack of interest. You didn't hear that shit?
No.
Canceled. They were like, you know what? Refunds for everybody. We'll give you a free copy of Titanfall 2 in exchange.
Well, they're gonna give you a free Titanfall tomorrow. Oh man, we didn't get any questions about that, unfortunately. Wink, wink, nudge, judge. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers, ask us. What's it called? Apex something? Project Ape? I don't know what the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Carlos, we do have a Anthem question. You and I we did our stream, we played it, and we have some things to say. I got something to say. Da-da-da. By the way, Maroon 5 is fucking trizash. That thing sucked. Like, that's supposed to be rock. How are you gonna have 3 guitars up there? How are you gonna have 3 guitars up there? I didn't hear any fucking crunch.
But you know how that whole thing works now. That it's whoever pays the NFL for the rights. So their label paid for that. It's reversed. Before it was the other way around. They were looking for talent, but when they started getting hit with so many talent, they're like, you know what? How about you guys bid? And then poof, that was it. They won a bidding war.
And Janet Jackson happened. And
yeah, so I saw people on Twitter saying, how come this dude in Maroon 5 would show off his nipples, but Janet Jackson can't? That's a good point, And then Robert Workman, he said that, because remember, they had a bunch of different artists jumping in and out and stuff. He was like, listening to this is like having a kid in your car changing the radio station.
Yep. Well, they got to keep the kids interested, see.
No, it's like the kid himself. He's just fucking with the dial, It's crazy. Anyway, let's get to these questions, man. And, of course, if you guys are checking out this episode, afterwards on the YouTubes, feel free to leave us questions for next week's show. And if you guys are joining us live on Twitch, leave us some questions now if you haven't already, man. Meow. All right, first up, Mr. G Megaforce 123. So his first question is, what are games you wish you were interested in but aren't? For me, it's Super Smash Brothers. It certainly does seem interesting, but I just can't make myself care. I usually like fighting games, but looking at the gameplay, I can't say I have any real desire to play it. So has there ever been a game that you feel you should probably be interested in, but just can't muster any genuine interest for?
Nope.
Interesting question.
Nope.
Like, yo, man, if I don't like it, I don't like it.
No, if I don't like it, I don't like it. That's just the way it is. Like some people are like, yeah, you should. No, I don't like it. I didn't like Lords of Shadow. I'm not gonna force myself to like something I didn't like.
But that's a bad game, though.
Yeah.
You like the
well,
genre.
no, but there's a. But I mean,
that's crap.
But the thing is that there's a fan base behind it. Like, there are people that are like, oh my God, Lords of Shadow's the greatest game. Don't talk about, it's like that. But me, I can't, it's just.
Yeah, some people like McDonald's too.
It's the same with Fallout too.
Don't hate on McDonald's, motherfucker.
But I mean, like, you like, yo, I ate at Peter Luger's, and next night you eat at McDonald's and see how you like it.
It's same thing with the Fallout games, or I don't like those games for the reasons I don't like them, and that's probably not going to change as long as Bethesda keeps making glitchy ass games.
But aren't there like games where you just don't play them because you don't have the time to? It's like,
well, that's a totally different story.
Thing, yeah.
But that's part of that could be answering the question, wouldn't it?
No, because it's a game that you feel you should be interested in, but for whatever reason you are not interested in it.
Yeah, in other words, it's like it's a thing that would usually tick all the boxes, right?
Yeah.
But you just don't like it. I mean, I can understand people that understand it from that perspective, but I don't have very many games that are like that for myself.
Yeah. For me, the only one I could think of, and I have played it, is Dead or Alive. I should like these games, but I don't. I played 2. I'm like, something off here. I remember this was back in the day when Manny and I and our friend Evil Chris used to play fighting games all the fucking time, right? We all bought that game, and within a week we stopped playing it. Like, something about it, but I can't name what it is. Something about it. And also another one that I feel I should like, but I don't, is Street Fighter 3rd Strike. It looks fucking great. It plays great. Not interested in it. Don't like it. Although I do know the reason why, because the parry system fucked that whole game up, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, it's like I should be more into Dead or Alive, but I'm just like, meh, whatever, And I'm also becoming like that with fighting games in general now. It's like I want to be excited, but I just can't muster the energy anymore. It's gone. It left the door, man.
Oh man, Elvis has left the building.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the word I'm looking for. The interest has left the building. With a big ham sandwich. All right, Chris. What about you?
I've lost my my RPG abilities when it comes to like Japanese RPGs. Like I played Final Fantasy. I played 7, 8, 9. I played one of the older ones. I don't remember if it was 3 or 4. I used to love playing those games, and now I just don't have the patience anymore to sit down and play them. That's why I didn't play 15. That's why I haven't gotten Dragon's Quest. Like I'm missing out, and like young me would be like, "What's wrong with you, man? Why aren't you playing this shit?"
Yeah. By the way, Brett's not here, so we could call it Dragon Age proper. You know,
Dragon's Age.
You know. Hey man, you kind of fall into that. It's like you would normally be interested in an RPG, but you ain't got that kind of time anymore.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not like it's like it's not like the sort of like, well, I should like these games. I know I'll like these games, but at the same time,
I got you.
The thing is, I know I'll like the games. The thing is that I don't have the time to commit to it, and I feel like, at least for me, it's a disservice to buying the game in general. Why would you buy something if you don't intend to play it?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right, Carlos, what about you? A game that you should be interested in, but you just aren't?
I don't know. That's a hard question.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Maybe... What's a game everyone likes that I don't like?
While you choose, I want to give a big shout out to Big Mike, who's hanging out in the chat, who played with us the other day. You know, we'll talk about that in a bit. You know,
that
all right.
Fucking huge ass fucking mech that he was.
Yeah, man, that shit was crazy. For me to enjoy says, question: what is happening in gaming tomorrow? That actually leads me to something. Thank you for asking that question. That vague question, I'm gonna fill it in with something. But anyway, Carlos, we could come back to you if you're still having trouble.
I got mine already.
Okay, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, mine's it's got to be Smash Bros. You know, I never liked all the other ones. I tried. Everyone was like, "Oh, this is fun." This and this. I was like, "Ah," and then I just went all in on this Switch version, and I liked it. I was like, "Oh wow, it's won me over." You know, because I tried the other ones, it just didn't do it for me. You know, but this one did. And
but what's a game that you feel you should be interested in?
Oh, there's an easy one for that, and that's the latest Metal Gear.
Ooh.
The latest Metal Gear. It's something about I love the story, no.
Wait, which Metal Gear? By the way, which Metal Gear? Which Metal Gear? Which Metal Gear? Which Metal Gear?
The latest one.
The
Phantom Pain.
No. That's not the latest one. That's not the latest Metal Gear game.
We don't count this on. That shit don't count.
That's why I'm asking, bro.
That's a spin-off.
That's why I'm asking. No,
and it's just something about it. And I kept trying to get back into it, and then, even Manny did the remote play, showed me how to do it. And just, I guess it was, I don't know, the dynamics of going into the world and maintaining that, and then going into the regular world and doing my stealth missions. I felt like there was a lot going on. And I don't know. I kept saying, I'll get back to it. I'll go back in. And until this day, even yesterday, I was thinking about it. Like, you know what? Maybe I should boot that up. I should go back because I've liked the other ones. It's just something about this one just threw me off.
I mean, I think it's a bit of a not a challenge, but like for a lot of people, that open world aspect of the thing, it's a somewhat of a turn off.
But I play a lot of. That's the thing. I play a lot of open world games. Most of the games I play are open world. That's why I was saying. I was like, oh, this is even better. I'll be able to do whatever the hell I want. But I don't know. Maybe I just haven't picked up on the control schemes of it. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Brian.
I got mine.
Okay. Go ahead, Carlos.
So for me, it's a Little Big Planet. Any of them, because I like. For example, Halo 3's Forge, or pretty much any Halo that has a Forge mode. I like building a lot of levels. I like getting creative and doing all those other things. Mario Maker is the same way, but for some reason, Little Big Planet, I just don't like.
I think for it might it's how much you need to create to get to the a decent level. You know what I mean? Like for Mario Maker, everything kind of works. You put down a thing there, you put down a block, you can jump on it. If you grow, you can make it smash. Same thing with something like Forge. You're still designing the level, but everything still works. I think Little Big Planet, and I think that's the big problem with a lot of those kind of play create sort of games. Yes, it's so much, you can do so much with them, but at the same time, it can also seem intimidating.
Yeah, I agree with all that. And Big Mike asks, so are you interested in Dreams? I kind of am, just because of how impressive some of the stuff that I've seen, like those clips, especially that Dead Space stuff, is like pretty impressive, like what you can do. So I'm more intrigued than I am like excited about it. If there's any contrast between those two terms, but yeah, I'm looking like I'm intrigued by Dreams.
Dreams. All right,
Dreams sounds crazy.
Yeah,
like crazy. I have a feeling like that it's really gonna blow up if they start. I can just envision like all these expansion packs and stuff from different games and universes. Like, hey, you want that Capcom experience? Here, bro, $20-$30. Add in all these Street Fighter guys and elements and stuff, and make your own world. I could see shit like that.
Yeah, all right, Brian, get in here.
For me, it has to be The Last of Us. I generally cannot care less about that game, and I don't know why. I've seen people talk about it. I played it myself. I just cannot get into it. I have no idea why. Like, I was watching Carlos' reaction to Last of Us 2, and I'm just like, I'm not seeing anything that's blowing me away. I'm seeing stuff that I would expect anyway from that type of game, and it's like, yeah. I don't know. I probably don't care. I had a lot more interest in Dying Light than that game.
I forgot that game's coming out this year, isn't it? Fuck.
That's right. Yeah. Dying Light too.
Man, all right. Well, I think we all answered that one. So next up is, what's your favorite fake video game movie clip / TV clip? He said he was looking at a clip and realized how much he loves watching people pretend they are playing video games on TV. The best part is how in the clip he linked how they're playing Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance with a Nintendo 64 controller and a chair-mounted joystick. Okay, so what are your favorite, I guess, fake video game playing moments in movies or TV? I got one. Back to the Future, man, too. Remember? You mean you got to use your hands?
you know? They're playing Wild Gun.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, and this is probably Chris's one too. Remember in Rumble in the Bronx when Jackie Chan gives him the Game Gear, him the Game Gear, but there's no game in it, and he's playing the game, and it's making noises like stupid noises, but there's absolutely no game inside.
You can tell there's no cartridge in it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good one. Adam, go ahead.
The Xbox, when the first OG one launched, and they started sending all these ads and stuff showing people, all happy playing it, and there's one where you could see that the shit's not even plugged in. Like, you see them all with their faces, and Xbox it's on the coffee table, and they're like, yeah, and they're smiling at the TV. I'm like, wait a minute, there's no power cable, nothing's plugged in. I was like, and this is an ad they put in the magazines and in comics and newspapers, the whole thing to promote Xbox, fun for everyone. And I'm like, the shit wasn't even plugged in. How do you mess that up? Whoever printed it was like, shit, how did we screw this up?
I forgot what it was, but I know I saw, like, it was either a commercial or a TV thing where they were playing Call of Duty and you hear the gun sounds, brr, 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 but the person's just pressing the face buttons. I'm like, you don't shoot with the face buttons in those, you shoot with the triggers. That's funny. Brian, what about you?
I'm actually trying to think of any, and I can't really, because like in most films, I just wait for when they start doing like some coding, so I can like see like what language they're doing. So I don't really catch the game ones. But I guess that the first one that comes to mind, and I don't know why, is the Switch rooftop parties.
Yeah, those are good. Those are good ones. That's fucking fake as hell, man.
Wait, no. Remember, Brett said he has those type of parties.
That's
right. He said it. He did say.
I want video proof.
Yeah,
we said the same thing. He's like, no, I get together with my buddies and we plug it in and we go at it.
You're right about that. He called me up this afternoon. He was telling me, he's like, hey, Tony, man, listen, I was playing basketball with my friends and then we decided let's play basketball on Switch. He told me that shit. All right, Carlos, what about you? What's your favorite one of these moments?
I don't know. I don't really recall. Actually, there's a movie called Three Ninjas where like a 90s movie where they were playing Super Mario Bros. But
those are the kids, right?
Yeah, I remember that movie. I remember that movie.
Yeah, they were playing that. There's like, I just remember one dude was jumping on a little trampoline and shit. One was playing Super Mario Bros. And the other one was, I don't know, talking on the phone or something. But yeah, that's the only one I can remember. I don't recall any other ones. So yeah, I don't. That's mine.
What about I'm trying to think of. Remember that movie Wizard?
Yeah, I remember Wizard.
And when he was using the game glove, the power glove, I don't remember seeing it plugged in. I saw him moving his hand left and right, but I'm trying to think if
probably
it was
wasn't plugged in. Probably wasn't,
because I remember I had a long ass cable. I was like,
for some reason, when I think of like TV and movies, like with video games, when they're playing video games, for some reason, something that comes into my head is like people just swerving from side to side while they're playing.
Yeah, moving around like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't do that. Do people do that? Like
old people do. Old people and people who don't know how to play video games do that. And that's why. A little bit of a story now, because when we were kids, we would make fun of adults that used to do that shit, like, you know, going like that. So when the Wii came out, it's like, wait, they're telling us to get rid of decades of programming right now because you're supposed to move around. It's like, no, when you play games, you're supposed to stand still. What are you doing? You know?
Yep.
Like, that's counter to everything that gaming is about, man. Because remember, we used to make fun of it. It's like, yo, why are you doing that shit? Like, doing that's not going to make the car move, you know?
Yeah.
But now it does.
Yeah, now it does. It's like, no, this is wrong, man. This is like, it's like putting counters in Street Fighter. Oh, man. I'm going to get counterintuitive counters in Street Fighter. All right, man, let's move on here. For me to enjoy asks, what is happening in gaming tomorrow? I'm glad you asked. Tomorrow is going to be interesting. So, EA and Respawn are going to release it's Titanfall Universe Battle Royale game without mechs. I'm not making this up.
So it's the first person shooter part of it, but without the mech part of it.
Yes. I forgot what it's called. Something Apex. So yeah, and that news is going to come officially.
Apex Legends, I think.
Apex Legends, thank you. Not Legends Apex, right? Just making sure. Apex Legends, thank you. So at 11 a.m. Eastern, we're going to get more information about this. So there you go. By the way, here's my thing. I guess it's not Titanfall technically, but I'm like, okay, so EA is doing it again. They're going to bring out another Titanfall game right before their other game comes out, like another big game of theirs, with this case being Anthem, which we'll talk about in a bit. So yeah, what do you guys think about the Apex Legends?
Is this a retail release or is this pure digital?
I have no idea. We're gonna find out tomorrow.
And because it sounds like this, is it gonna be free to play?
I don't know. I think it is. Don't quote me on that though.
Because everything here sounds like this is a test. Do you guys want this shit? Because it's, Respawn, we know they're great with the first person. Remember, a large majority of them left Infinity Ward, to do Respawn. And everybody loved the first person aspect of Titanfall. But man, no mechs. Titanfall, right?
Titanfall.
So the people, man, without the
it's funny, remember, this is give me the pizza with nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, so what... How is it still in the same world? Like, all the mechs just disappeared? That was a whole part of the world system there, that you had these robots to help fight.
I think because it would be really hard to program 60 mechs fighting against each other.
No, I get it. I get it. So then just call it something else.
Well, it is called something else. It's called Apex Legends.
So it's not Titanfall. Where do you get the Titanfall from?
Because it's in the Titanfall
Apex Legends.
No. There's no Titanfall in it, but it's set in the Titanfall universe. Understand?
So they said it's in the universe, but it's
a Titanfall spinoff.
All right, it's a spinoff. It should have mechs, man. That's because people that love it, like I loved it. It's the fact you have that variable of like, damn, if I feel like getting in a fucking mech, a big ass mech comes down and.
Hey, yo, Carlos, get ready with the sound effect. So Jeff Keighley. Thank you. So Jeff Keighley confirmed that it is free to play and it is in the Titanfall universe. It'll be on PC, Xbox, and PS4.
I have an exclusive for you guys.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a spinoff. It's a Titanfall spinoff. But I guess it makes sense. Battle Royale's big right now. EA wants to jump in on that craze, so there you go. They're doing it with Titanfall.
Battle Royale,
man, this seems like sort of, kind of like what what's his name, Cliffy B did with that Overwatch clone.
Oh shit!
What Anthem is doing with fucking the Destiny clone. It's like they're just jumping on the trend, and I wonder if friggin' the train's already left the station at this point.
It doesn't make sense because the whole thing of all the different characters that you had in Titanfall, it was the robots that made it. The mechs is what made them different. The humans, we didn't care less about. So what are they gonna do? What are they gonna have? It's just gonna be a bunch of guys running around with laser guns. That
there was a
running,
there was a world before Titanfall.
There's a world.
Yeah, we know that now. That was called Call of Duty and Advanced War. We saw that. That was it. And then they went to space.
Yo, Adam. To be fair though, even the regular controls outside of mechs is pretty fucking good. You know?
No, I know it's good. I'm saying what's there. You know what I mean? Like for the characters, you remember your guy was just a regular Joe Schmo. It's his mech. Your mechs were all different. That's what made them special. Like, oh, I got the one that has the the missiles on it. I got the one with the LMGs and stuff like that. If you take that out, then you got to put in something else. You got to replace your weapons. If you do all that, then you just got Call of Duty.
Yeah, you replace that shit with Battle Royale, motherfucker. Yeah.
What a game!
Unless the map. The only thing that can really make or break this is the map. If the map design is amazing, if it's like in that type of city environment, which is what I was hoping for in Blackout, and we didn't get, so we got German farmland. So if they can go that route, like what we know in Titanfall, remember with all the buildings and all that stuff going on and diving in and out of windows, that would be definitely crazy.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we'll definitely talk about this game on Throwdown on Thursday when we'll have more information, but very interesting. All right, next up, Mr. Matt Wheaton. So his question is, on a scale of 1 to Amy Schumer's vapid excuse for comedy, how much of a train wreck can we expect BioWare's final quote-unquote magnum opus Anthem to be? And this is coming from a guy who's a huge fan of BioWare and all the way back from the OG Xbox with KOTOR. I think if you played the demo like me and Carlos did, Carlos, I think you agree with me on this. We don't think this game's going to be a bomb like we kind of feared.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Yeah, I think the game's going to do well. I don't know how well it's going to do, but I don't think it's going to lead to the ruin of BioWare like we really suspected. It's a competent looter shooter game. It's Destiny in third person, basically. I know some people say no, it's different. Yeah, I mean there's little differences, but it's fucking Destiny. Let's just be honest, So
they said they're gonna focus heavy on the story, and it's gonna be an emotional roller coaster.
We'll see about that. Well, no, I did not get that vibe at all. Not at all.
This demo did not provide any emotion. I'll tell you that much.
Nothing.
But, so like Tony mentioned, it's essentially a Destiny clone, and everything about it is just screams Destiny.
It is Destiny.
Yeah, so while the game itself is super cookie cutter, it's really well made cookie cutter, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
Everything about the game, when it comes to the shooting, the mechanics, the enemies, a lot of that stuff, like those kind of little bosses and stuff, are all really well made, and it all plays well. That flying mechanic is also pretty sick, and it's been fun. Like I had fun playing with Big Mike and Hussein, shout out to them, and Brett also, and with Tony. So I don't know. It's definitely not gonna be a flop, because this game is too well made to be there's aspects of this game that people will gravitate to. This isn't it doesn't seem like this is just a really bad game that no one will care about.
Did they change the numbering pop-up thing? I saw people bitching about it last time, that the numbers were too big, like when the hit counts.
Well, I don't know.
When you would shoot at them, it was huge ass numbers that would cover that. It's like covering over the enemy's head.
Change from what though? I don't. What do
you
mean?
Make it smaller. From what they saw at the live event at that EA. Remember the one that Manny didn't get in? The EA.
I didn't. Well, I tried to go in. They didn't invite me to that shit either.
You were in it.
No, I was in it, but not for that demo though. Remember, it was just like a fucking 20-minute demonstration. It's like why am I here for this shit? So I didn't bother with that, but I don't know.
I just remember people bitching, and they were like, "Yeah, when you shoot at the enemies, numbers pop up.
Yeah.
It was like huge, big ass numbers, and they said it's like covering over the enemy's head, and it looked very arcadey."
Yeah, no, I mean the numbers were fine. They didn't really bother me. To me, it was just
Adam.
Yeah.
I did remember seeing a setting in there that had something to do with numbers. So maybe you can change the size.
You can change that. Okay.
Brian, did you try the demo?
Oh yeah, of course. I tried on PC, not
nice.
The console.
I didn't know it was on PC. That's awesome. So what did you think of it?
I thought it was quite alright. It wasn't mind blowing. It wasn't that bad. It felt very reminiscent of Mass Effect Andromeda in terms of how you move around in combat and how the powers recharge and stuff like that. So that's a big plus. I see where your calls are coming from. Like there was like on the narrative side, there's pretty much nothing there. Apart from like the one dialogue choice with the mechanic person, which was just really shit. So I'm kind of like, the story's gonna be like meh.
I was grateful that we got the option to skip that shit. I skipped it every time.
Oh my! See the thing that like really that really annoyed me was that she was close to where the forge was. So I kept on like pressing F to like enter the forge, but then I like enter in a cutscene with her. I'm like skip 1, skip 2. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was just really dumb. But yeah, you can skip stuff. That's good. I like the game. It has good ideas, but I fear that it will just not be there at launch. So judging by what they've said, there just won't be enough stuff there to hold.
I agree.
At launch.
I agree with that sentiment. Yeah, no, yeah, Brian, I completely agree with everything you said. I think all of us are actually in agreement. It's kind of sad Brett in here because he has.
Can you jump in and out?
No.
Because then you guys said you were all playing together, so I was assuming like, besides Brian, can you jump in and out of like the way remember in Division?
I thought you said could you jump in and out of your fucking mech?
No.
Yeah.
So like, let's say if you guys are playing, I was like, yo, I want to play. I could just jump into your session.
I don't mind jumping into the session because again, I was just playing on solo on PC, but I know that if you get disconnected, you can just jump back into the game that you were because the demo kept on crashing on me because the demo was just badly running and shit.
You cannot join mid mission.
I have done that on public games though, Carlos. I joined like midway through. There was one game I literally joined, and then 5 seconds later, the game just ended. So I joined like right at the ass end.
Oh, well, you know what? No, yeah, I think you're right because I think when me and Tony played, we always had 4 people parties. You know,
yeah,
like,
we did. Yeah.
We had like a random person. Like one time we were playing 3, and I think Hussein joined. Yeah, but he couldn't join because we had a 4th person.
Yeah, the game doesn't let you play solo. From what I saw, you're always in a team, no matter what. You know.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
What, like AI buddies?
So no, they're real people. They're real people. You're always
so you're always online. You always have to play in a group online.
Yes.
Then you don't like that shit.
Yeah, you know
that's forced. That's forced. Then that's different.
But I'm not forced to talk to these motherfuckers. So that's at least something. You
know? Little sidetrack. You know what else? And I just realized this. You know what else forces you to be always online? Resident Evil 2 remake. That shit pissed me the fuck off.
Really? Why am I not surprised? Capcom always does that shit.
Thing?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I was playing. My fucking internet went out. I was playing fucking Resident Evil 2, and it said, like, if you don't, I don't know, it essentially said if you don't ping the fucking RENet or whatever shit servers, the fucking application will suspend. And I was like, what?
Wow.
They don't even give you 24 hours. What? They
give me 5 minutes.
Yep. Yo, you know what game that also happens when no one talks about? Dragon Quest 11. When I try to log in and I wasn't online for whatever reason, it was like can't log in. I'm like, what do you mean can't log in? It's a fucking single player game. You know, people don't talk. There's a lot of games that do that shit, and Capcom is notorious for doing that shit. You know, it's crazy. But yeah, with Titanfall, you know, if Brett was here, he'd offer it up. Here's the thing, Brett feels the way we do, just more amplified. He really, really loves it. To him, it's all about the flying and the maneuverability. So he says to him, that's enough to get him to buy it. He says it is Destiny, but it's third-person Destiny, and that's fine by him. But generally, I think, me, Brian, and Carlos are on the same page. Good game. We don't hate it, but we also don't think it's going to blow anything away. But we also don't think it's going to be the ruin of BioWare either. You know?
Yeah. Also, the part that scares me the most is this could just be a really good demo, and the rest of the game could be just really dense. Like,
yeah, it could be. Like
because that's how Destiny was for me.
Yeah. Did it feel open world? Like, what did the world feel?
You know what it felt like? Small? No. Here's the thing. It doesn't sound weird. It felt like old Monster Hunter where you have to load in between areas and shit. I'm like, and the loading is fucking long, dude.
Right. Yep.
It is ridiculous, you know. Yep. And me and Carlos, you know, I mean, for me, we got the Pro and I got the idle fucking hard drive. Nope, that shit was taking forever, man. I was making sandwiches in between, you know. Shit was crazy.
One of the cool things is when the rest of your party is doing the objective, and you have some like if you, for example, are just forgot to join your team, like it'll teleport you towards the team.
Yeah, that's good. Brian, how was the loading?
Like it. I actually did not like that feature because
I liked it. Yeah,
it's what was it called? They call it the latchkey. It's like the latchkey system, like with kids, and
you had
parent.
You had like 4 seconds like rejoin them, and that was it. So if you're like behind by accident, or just like exploring, or even just getting loot, you have like just literally like 4 seconds to move, and that's it. It's like,
man.
Yeah, my issue was not the feature, was the time limit. It was way too short.
No, that's interesting because to me, I'm like, oh, thank you, 4 seconds, because I would get lost a lot. I'm like, okay, thank you, I don't have to find these motherfuckers. I like that. It also keeps people from lagging behind. Like Adam, I'm going to explore now.
Well, that's the whole thing. If I want to explore and get something,
not on my time. Not on my time.
Exactly, your time. So it ruined my experience.
It's interesting. Yeah, but I guess if you're in the lead, you don't have to worry about that. But there's not really much to explore, at least from what I saw. It's like Destiny. It's not really much to get.
I actually don't remember exploring much, but I did like the verticality.
Verticality is good.
That games don't do. They don't have any verticality, and more games need that. It's fucking amazing. Like, go up, go down, and all sorts. Like, yes, thank you for putting stuff here. Like, if you just want to see how much wasted potential there is, go play any game and then just look up. It's like, hey, you see all that stuff there? You're not doing anything there apart from in Dark Souls. That's different. But still, like, if you look up, there's stuff there, but you can't do stuff there, and that's what I like about this game. Like, hey, you can just fly upwards. It's great.
By the way,
I did like that.
Yeah, different game, but that happened to me. That exact same thing you just said, Brian, happened to me in Kingdom Hearts the other day. I was flying in space, and my objective was on the other side of a giant asteroid. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get around? I'm like, Tony, space, go up, go above the asteroid. Because you're right, video games don't train you to look up, which is weird, because there's usually, like you said, there's usually nothing up there. But yeah, Anthem, it's good. I'm still not really excited because think what Brian and Carlos just said. They skipped all the cutscenes. You would never dream of doing that with a BioWare game. Never dream of that in a million years.
No, that's a joy, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you would play those games purely for the cutscenes, at least for me. But we'll see. But yeah, mechanically speaking, it is sound. We'll see. Let me look at the chat if anybody's saying anything about the game. Guess not. I don't think anybody cares. But yeah, but Brett's pretty excited. He's hyped. But for me, and I'm not promoting this game. I know I've been writing about it. But I'm just being honest. To me, the looter shooter, Adam, you already know, son. Division 2, that's the shit I'm looking forward to, man.
That's it.
Yeah, and Adam, surprise, Brett's excited to play it too. So we're gonna be teaming up.
All right. Well, let's see who shows up, because I know a lot of people. Oh yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, I am. I'm getting that code.
Usually that's just Adam.
That's it. And that's usually me. But I'm there. But I go. But thing is, my point is that I show up. People don't show. So I was like, oh, you ready to play? Oh, I got something to do. I got to masturbate. I got to eat pickles. There's always some bullshit. There's always some shit. I'm like, all right, whatever. You can't make it.
Yeah, Big Mike, you already know, son. We're in there, man.
I can't wait. So the 7th, for the private beta, for those who are in it.
Yeah, we're in it. We're in it, Adam. Let's go.
Gotta play it. Yeah.
What do you need? I didn't see the flow chart, so I don't know what you need to do to
pre-order. No, he's right. I think it was just. I think you had to just pre-order.
The butter edition.
No, maybe one of the butter editions. I'll look that up, because you're right. There was a flow chart, because then there was for a public one. No, there was a private. There's 2 private ones, and one I think was stuck behind one of the other deals. So hold on, I'll get back to you.
Yeah, shout out to Pike Huhan, man, in the chat. He goes, sorry, I'm just lurking while in the midst of paying bills, but I love to talk. My man.
Damn bills, man. Billy always coming for you. Always trying to take money from your wallet.
That's my motherfucking money, man. All right, let's move on here. Mr. Figs. So his first question is, Digital Foundry showed that Anthem on the base consoles and Xbox One X and PS4 Pro could not maintain a locked 30 frames per second. In the year of 2019, where games really should be 60 FPS, how can EA honestly release a game that can't hit minimum standards of 30 FPS, as it is basically a PowerPoint presentation going as low as 22 frames per second? Okay, we got to kind of break down the whole thing of like games should be at this. Dude, it's still the same consoles from 2013, man. Like, I know we have the super butter versions, but the games still need to be made for the lowest common denominator. So that's why you're getting that. Me and Carlos, we saw it go up to 60 sometimes, and we also saw it dip the fuck down, below 30, Yep. I'm guessing on PC it was like butter the whole time,
Oh, hell no. It was...
Oh, really?
Not that great. Honestly, it was... I have no idea what the hell they're doing, but it's not optimized at all. It's using lots of resources that it should not be doing. Again, lucky enough, I just powered through it, but even then, I was noticing that it was like dropping at times when it shouldn't be dropping. So, they have mentioned that they have done some optimizations since then. So hence, they have claimed that when the full game does come out, performance will be better. But
another patch.
We'll see about that. But yeah, the whole thing is like, dude, even 30 FPS is not a standard. Let's just be honest now, And again, mostly we're still using the same console of 2013. You're not going to see improvement just because it's 2019, And like I said before, and Chris, I'll let you talk in a minute. Even with these new consoles, I still don't expect 1080p 60 across the board.
I mean, come on. We're talking about games that are barely even hitting 1080. We're like, Kingdom Hearts just came out, and that game is supposed to be like, oh, yeah, cartoony game. That game on all the consoles, with the exception of the Xbox, still can't run at 1080.
That's crazy. Chris, get in here, man.
No, I was just going to ask Brian, did they stick some crazy DRM in the PC version of Anthem?
Ooh, I have no idea, but I'm guessing it's Origin.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's why it was using resources that it shouldn't have. It's probably some DRM bullshit.
Yeah, it was like running really hard because I'm running a Ryzen 1700X, and I was watching like the CPU thing, and it reached like 100% on everything. Wow. It's like, damn, that's not meant to happen. Something's off here. So yeah, it's really like intensive.
Damn, that's crazy. So yeah, you can't really say. Oh, I mean, you could, I guess. EA's fucking up because they're obviously it's not even optimized on PC. But the fact is, none of these companies are hitting like that shit for most of their games.
I was gonna say, like me and Tony were playing on the PS4 Pros, and like the frame rate was super varied. But the weird thing, I maybe I wasn't paying attention, or maybe like. I was just listening to like me and Tony like screaming like Goku, like Japanese Goku, but I couldn't hear the PS4 Pro. So I don't know if so maybe that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. But but you notice like when we got into like really tight corridors, like that shit ran nice, nice as a motherfucker. But when we were flying around, it's like kind of suspect.
Side note, update. Yeah, any pre-order version of Division 2 gets you into the private beta.
Oh shit!
And when is that?
And that's February 7th. This week coming.
That's Thursday, isn't it?
February
7th. That's Throwdown night, man.
Is that a Thursday? Yeah.
Well,
so after
we're streaming on Friday.
Yeah,
we know we're streaming on Friday night.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I don't think we have anything more to say about this one. So next question: what do each of you guys want from the next generation of consoles? We've answered this before, but we could do it again. Why not? Because this one's specific. What do you want from it? Manny, what do you want from next gen?
Okay. Now I can hear it. Let's see. Consoles that can at least run a 1080p 60.
Favorite. That's
not happening.
Yeah, that's actually mine.
And backward compatibility.
Manny, you're asking for the world over here, man.
Oh man,
I just say, I just say 1080 60 because it doesn't seem like everything is even able to do that thing.
Yeah,
upscaling and 900p, the upscaling to 4K. Why are we even talking about this?
Yeah. By the way, the rumor is that the PS5 will actually be able to be backwards compatible with all PlayStations. So I want to know what voodoo they made or they worked to get the PlayStation 3 running on that shit, But to be fair,
they better make it so you fucking stick a disc in the damn thing.
Either that or I wouldn't be surprised. You could build a slot for it on the motherboard.
Yeah, so we'll see about that. But yeah, I'm generally with Manny. Like, if you give me 1080p 60 across every game, I'll be happy. That's all I want. Chris, what do you want the most from next gen?
I would. I have a couple of items.
Do
One,
it. Do
the
it.
DualShock 5 needs to have a removable battery.
Get rid of that
Sony?
shit.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were
Fucking
gonna
hell.
Yo, get rid of that motherfucking light. Get rid of
Nah,
that
man,
shit.
it makes them too much. It makes them
Fuck
too
that
much
light.
money,
Fuck that
man.
light. Fuck
It
that
makes
light.
them too much money. People buying controllers just because of the battery dying.
I know,
That's why
but
they don't
that's
do
some
it.
Nah, man, I'm
bullshit
coming over there and
because-
fight
It is
somebody, man.
It
Fuck
is
that.
bullshit. It is
Yeah.
bullshit.
I mean, Microsoft has that great. Like, yeah, I could stick some AA's in there and play my thing when the battery runs out. But the Xbox controller lasts way longer than the DualShock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that damn light, man. They should have at least had an option to turn the shit off.
Should
If you have
turn it
no
off,
plans
yeah.
of ever using it, then fucking turn it off.
Chris, I thought for some reason you were gonna say, I hope the DualShock 5 has rumble. I'm like, yeah, I still have withdrawals from the fucking 6-axis.
Damn, man, the boomerang and shit. Anyway, what's your other things? Name them all. I want to hear this.
The second thing, the both PlayStation and Xbox need to get on their interfaces. Like, Sony needs to improve the performance of, what do they call it now? It's not the XMB. Whatever is going to be in the PS5, that interface needs to be smooth as butter. All right. Like, I'm tired of going in the PlayStation store and exiting and having it stutter. Like, there's so many problems. Or reading messages and then going back, it's slow as shit. Like, smooth that shit out, man. By next gen, that should be like perfect, you know. And Xbox, declutter your fucking thing. Go back to the 360 fucking interface, man.
They should do a throwback, or at least give an option for a throwback look. It was like, hey, you want the throwback dashboard? Yes, please. All right, press this button. Got your blades.
Like how Windows does it. You want classic?
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they should. I mean, that's something. This is something people have been asking forever since we saw this clunky ass shit. Like, oh, this is like Windows 8 on crack. It's horrible. Yeah. I was like, can we get rid of this? And they know. People have been asking for it. Just give us the option. You have them.
Yeah, those are my major things. Like, I know it's gonna be like, at least with Sony's gonna be backwards compatible. They're gonna give people a lot of stuff, but it's like, fix your damn interfaces. Put a swappable battery in a DualShock 5. That would make me happy.
Nice. All right, Carlos, what do you want from next gen?
So it was just next gen in general.
Yeah, next gen in general. Actually, he did specifically say PlayStation 5 and Xbox too.
Okay. So I'm with Chris with the interfaces. In particular, the PS4 one. And the reason why I mentioned it, I hate the Xbox One interface more, but the PS4 one, like, it's so simple, but it's not really intuitive. Like I just hate scrolling through the right to see all my shit, and like it just seems like it's not efficient, the whole interface.
Make folders. That's what I did. I just made folders. I got shooters, RPGs, whole thing, and then that way it's less of a scrolly. Go to the library. It's everything's in a folder.
I just feel like there's so much space that's not being taken care of, like not being taken advantage of. Like, I'm not saying make the interface like the whole screen, but like I just feel like you could do something like, and this is, I mean, I'm not creative enough to do this, but I mean they pay people to do this kind of stuff. So just make something more efficient with the interface and make sure the performance is up there, because yeah, like this interface is way too simple to be struggling. Like Manny said, it chugs along with PSN and shit, and the messages and all that stuff. So yeah, improve that. Like Xbox, you can just redo that whole interface. Like, yeah, I hate it.
I think it's probably a memory issue. They probably don't issue that much memory for the dashboard itself. Maybe if they tweak it and just give a little more to it, because like you said, it is slimline. It's simple. There shouldn't be an issue. So, and I know it has enough memory internally to handle it. Because yeah. I mean, you could have the dynamic themes. So if you could support that.
That's a good point, because I got a Resident Evil 2 dynamic theme when I bought Resident Evil 2, and I put it on, and it made it all fucking slow. So I'm like, fuck this. I'd rather just take this shit off. I get scared every time I turn on my PS4 anyway, so it doesn't help me either way.
Here's some. When the Red Dead came out, when if you did the launch countdown to launch, you would get that special theme. I think that's how I got that one. Anyway, that had a dynamic, just a background images slideshow type thing with music. It would never fit. It always crashed my fucking shit. My PlayStation was always crashing. After I had it there and I played a little bit and I shut the game off, went to sleep mode, tried to come back on, boom, it would just crash. Fatal error. Had to restart. I took off that theme, everything was fine.
It's crazy, man. The that's one thing. The backwards compatibility, I agree with everyone. I want that for every system. Yeah, it's interesting. Like Tony meant, you said, I think you said the rumors are that it'll have backwards compatibility for all PlayStation systems, which is freaking crazy. But
it'll probably come at a fee. I could see that as a service, that type of thing. Or you can just open up the store. Just have a store, a digital version store of like, hey, yeah, you go ahead. If you have the disc, pop it in. If not, you can go through all these different stores and then just pick them up from there. Do it that way. I mean, think about it. We do it on PCs. I could play old DOS games on my PC. So why not?
Yeah, like you're right about that. It's like, yo, if let's just say, if this is true that we're gonna have like backwards compatibility with all of them, it's like, yo, if I bought this game digitally, I better be able to download this shit and play it on my PlayStation 5. I don't give a fuck if it was on Vita or anything.
That, thank God, that's what Microsoft did with the Xbox. With 360 games that I bought digitally, and when they made it backward compatible, it was just there. They didn't make me pay again for that. So I was like, all right, that's great. So all that stuff is there.
Okay, hold on, Carlos. I want to read this. So, Sony has filed a patent for a new backwards compatibility system, in theory allowing the PS5 to play PS1, PS2, PS3, and PS4 games. This is from Push Square. Very interesting.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I only have PS4 and PS3 games, so I don't know what happened to all my PS2 and PS1 games. I probably sold them.
But then we would probably
burned them all.
I just want Loaded. That's the only one that I play. That and the Def Jam games, which we probably won't ever get. Those are the fun ones that I played, and I still play them on my PC emulator. But that'd be cool if they had those.
Yeah. Right. So that's it for the essentials. Just one thing that I dream of is that the PS5 will release with a Vita 2, but that's just
you're right. There you go. All right, Brian, what do you want from next gen?
I want better controllers. These controllers, well, I say these controllers. The PS4 controller's ass. It has things that I don't like about it. Apart from the obvious, which is the detachable batteries, get rid of the touch bar. Sorry, get rid of the light bar. I also want them to get rid of the touch bar. It's useless. Like, no one cares about that. Like, yes, I know you tried, but no one cares. Like, it was hot for like 2 years, maybe, and then no one cares anymore. Like,
speaking of that, so this is all connected with that. I was playing Detroit, and I was telling you, I was playing the Detroit Human. You use that shit all the time. I'm like, yo, when was the last time I had to use this shit?
Now, like, all that shit. Yeah.
Yo, how about this? I rage quit because I thought the game glitched on me. Because there was this one spot where she was like, oh, you have to move left or right. And I'm moving the stick, and it's not working. I quit out of it. I go back, and still not working. So wait a minute. And I swipe across that touch bar, and then it opened up. It's like when she's clearing up glass or something from snow.
Yeah.
Like, what the? I don't ever use this shit. Like Brian said, we never use that shit. Unless you're bringing up a map, you press in on it, but to actually swipe left and up and down on it.
Yeah, just get rid of it. Makes no sense. I do like the rubbers. On I don't know what you should call it. But I would like them to have like some better grip on them because I feel like they're just not good enough. They just don't seem to grip that well, like over time. I don't know about Tony's one because I know that Tony like throws them across the room or something because he goes through controls like mad. So I don't know. But yeah, just better controls overall. And also put some buttons at the back of the controller for a damn change. Like it just wastes space. I will say it again. Having like a paddle shift thing at the back of the controller is a good thing. It makes it so damn nice.
We need paddles as a standard for controllers. They're so fucking cool, man. I love paddles.
So useful as well.
Yeah, they really are. All right.
And here's a nice and here's one that I think people might not like that much, but I think it would be quite fun. Enable keyboard and mouse support for consoles. I want that. I want to see just how many people actually use that. And along the same line of thinking, have more than 2 damn USBs at the front of this stupid thing. Like, what the fuck's that about? And like 2 USB ports. Like, no, it's 2019 now. Like, nothing comes with 2 USB ports. Like, MacBooks have 4 of them. Fuck.
Yeah. All right. Moving on here.
Wait, I want to.
Then you go at it. Oh, my bad. No, go ahead. Go ahead. What do you want from?
I want 2 bays for both of them for hard drives. because they already know that one isn't enough and everyone's going external. So why not have an extra bay internal? So that way it's in the back. So yeah, you have one for the main system, but if you want to add another one, just make it a hot swappable type of thing where it's like, oh, I just put that. Yeah, there's an empty spot in the back. You just slide that one in there. So that way you could have two.
Cool. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. Oh, work with AP though. Put one in the box because everybody should have an AP though.
Yeah, there you go.
Controller.
All right, cool. Moving on here to Mr. DJ Chan. I totally fucked that up. Cheyenne, I don't know. Do you think the PS5 might be released at the end of this year or next year? Next year. We've talked about this. Next year, 2020. Yeah, 2020. My prediction is it's going to be announced officially at a show in February and then revealed and then, launched on November. Basically, exactly what they did with PS4. If it worked before, why change the formula? You know what I'm saying? So next year for sure. This year, no way. No fucking way.
I think this year the only console iterations we're gonna see is that Switch, that mini shit.
We're gonna see that, but like new consoles, not this year.
I don't
not this year. Not this year. Next year, man. I know some of you guys are ready, but wait till next year, guys. Come on. All right, go ahead, Adam.
And for some reason, I don't know why, but I have a feeling the Switch Mini isn't really a mini. I think what they're meaning as mini is that it's not going to come with Joy-Cons. It's just going to be the screen. Like if you want to get, the unit itself, the console, but it's not going to come with Joy-Cons, so it's going to look smaller. But I think it's going to be bigger. That's in my head. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think they would actually go small, especially when people want something bigger, and why go smaller?
Yeah. You know what? Let's go to Glorious Wars question because he wasn't here when we were talking about Apex Legends. He goes, do you think that with the upcoming release of Apex Legends, is EA trying to kill Anthem? I question the timing. I doubt they're trying to kill it, but I do question the timing. But yeah, the game is free, I don't know. What do you guys say? What do you think about the timing?
Yeah, I don't think they're trying to kill Anthem. I think they're trying to appease what investors they have left.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think that's it. I think it just looks good on paper that they have more releases happening even simultaneously they don't care.
Yeah. They don't care. And one of those battle royale modes that everyone's talking about. So it's like, oh wait, when do you guys want? Oh no, we got one. Oh, you do? Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's coming out next month. Oh, okay.
And it's also, if the game is a hit, end of the fiscal year, like Manny said last time, could make a lot of money.
Yeah,
but you're right. This is totally an investor fund or investor inspired move. I don't think because no fans were asking for this.
They're like, hey, guess what we got?
Yeah. Is it coming? So it's coming to consoles, or is it just?
It's consoles. Yeah. Oh. PC, PS4, and Xbox.
Okay. Guess what we got? We've got this game. You want it. No, we don't.
We still didn't even do that Grand Theft Auto one with the cars, the Destruction Derby.
Oh, didn't we? I thought we did.
No, Arena Wars. We didn't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, let me look over. Make sure I didn't lose another. Because Glorious War, you asked us one question. Just want to make sure you didn't ask us yet. But you still got room for another one. And if the rest of you guys, Cheyenne, Big Mike, if you want to ask us some more stuff, please feel free to. All right, next up, Mr. Black Metal Gamer. So his first question is, what is some of the best acting you've heard in video games? Not seen. What's some of the best acting you've heard in video games?
Oh, there's a lot. The Uncharted series.
Go ahead. Brian, you go first, man.
This is actually going to surprise quite a lot of people, but The Last of Us. I thought Last of Us has hands down some of the best acting I've seen in a long time. Like, those guys know how to direct a scene. They know how to place a camera. They know how to act well. So, yeah, like, they are, like, top-notch in that game. What they actually are acting, I think, was bullshit, but the way that they act was just great. I used to actually get quite annoyed that the game would actually interrupt the acting. It's like, no, just give me, like, more of this. Like, if they went on and made like an animated film, I would go and watch it because it's that good. Yeah. See, look, I can praise some Sony exclusives, and I can praise The Last of Us.
You mean the game that you shitted on?
Yeah, the game side of it, but the presentation side was what you can't really get mad at it. It's like really good. Like it's really good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. Naughty Dog games in general, like the acting is on a whole other level, you know. And I remember Uncharted, the first game was the first game, at least I could recall, where I saw that they had the actors in the same room together, like acting out the scenes in motion capture. You know, like I think that was one of the first games that actually really did that, and it shows in the performance in all Naughty Dog games. And now, subsequently, a lot of the big major games all do it that way. You know, because you get more out of them. I thought the acting in God of War, the latest one, was fantastic. Great fucking acting in that game, you know. But I do want to give a shout out to the first game. Even though if you look back at it now, I thought it's a little cheesy, but the first game I remember playing that, I thought like the acting was fucking crazy. Was the first Metal Gear Solid, like coming off of Resident Evil? I'm like, whoa, this is. Here's the thing. Even though again now some of it aged a little corny, but back then you could tell they were taking this shit seriously. You know, like you didn't see that before. Even Resident was like, you know, they were hamming it up, you know. And it also helped that they had professional voice actors doing this shit. They knew what the fuck they were doing, you know. That was the first game where I'm like, oh my god, this is legit. This is the very best voice acting I've ever seen. This is insane, you know. But I would just want to give a quick shout out to that. But yeah, some of the games that we have now are nuts with the and not just the voice acting, the performance, because they actually have the performance of the people. And if you've seen some of the behind the scenes of God of War, like that's Christopher Judge. He's Kratos, you know. It's crazy, man. Adam, what about you? What's some of the best let's just say performances you've seen in games? You know, because it is both. It is voice acting and performance now, you know.
Oh damn! There's so many. Like you said, the God of War was awesome. The Uncharted series, all of them have been great, especially the newer ones. The Last of Us, that was another awesome one. Even Detroit, what I'm playing now, Detroit, amazing. Holy crap! Yeah. Like they do so many close-ups on their faces that I'm like, man, this is like the next gen of what we saw from LA Noire. You know, with like detective work and zooming in on these characters, just beautiful, you know, and with the voice acting linking. And I can recognize a lot of those actors. That's how you know they're doing a great job. That guy, the main, the detective, your buddy.
Yeah.
Right? He's a famous actor. That's the guy from Carnival and a bunch of other movies. He played the devil and stuff. And there's a few others.
What's his face? It's damn, I can't remember his name. Well,
but you know him. Yeah, and then from Aliens, the guy from Alien, the cyborg,
Lance Henriksen, yeah,
Bishop, yeah, he's in it. I'm like, but that's how you know it's a great job, because you see him and you hear the voice. You're like, I know who you are. You know, I know exactly who you are.
I know you.
I know you. Yeah, I know you. You know, so no, they did a great job. I mean, all these games are so
and up there. Adam, you know, Red Dead Redemption 2, the acting
Red Dead was crazy,
fucking nuts,
crazy.
Dude. Yeah,
like you looked forward for those interactions with people because you knew you were going to get something special. It wasn't like, hey, go do this, go do that. There was always something crazy, and you had to read into the details of the face and see if they were bullshitting you or if this was a setup or something. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really enjoyed about this generation. I noticed that with the first Uncharted, like basically in the older games, because technology wasn't really there, the characters always had to tell you what they were feeling or thinking. Now you don't need to do that. Just like their face alone tells you. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Now you can see
it. Good. It's so good. Like acting got so much better last gen, man. You know, and we're still experiencing that. Carlos.
Yeah, Uncharted, I think for me is the best. It's so natural when it, like, for video games. There's like a lot of it's funny because there's the Quantic Dream games like that are sort of just dedicated to that kind of stuff. Like it's all about the motion capture, it's all about the detail and the story and how they convey the stories using expressions and emotions and stuff. But Uncharted is just an action game. Like, so I'm really impressed of the depths that franchise takes to just make it an overall great experience. And voice acting and motion capture and all that stuff is just a big part of it.
Yo, Tony, do you remember? Because he just brought up Heavy Rain. Do you remember when they showed that off? When Sony showed that off?
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was fucking amazing. That scene in the grocery store. What the hell? I thought that was fake. I was like, "There's no way this is a fucking game. There's no way this is a game."
Spoilers, man. Come on.
What do you mean? I was like right at the beginning of the game.
In the grocery store, man.
You walk into a scene.
Yo, they got grocery stores in this motherfucker.
Right?
Groceries.
Yo, that's a future, man.
You
A
know,
bodega? Where the bananas?
Right? You know? Oh, man. All right, Chris.
I agree with the latest Rockstar games. Even Red Dead Redemption, the first one, had excellent.
Yes.
Story.
Yes.
You know, GTA 4.
Yeah.
Even though it was depressing, that was.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good story wise. It was good.
Yeah.
You know.
So they do a great job. I'd say pre-Andromeda Mass Effect.
Yes.
In it. So I'll give a shout out to that one. And you mentioned some great ones. I think you hit it on the head, like with God of War and Last of Us, man. I mean, Last of Us, that was so good. They at E3 they did it live. The voice actors.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
That shit was crazy. So yeah, I mean, Naughty Dog has that shit wrapped up, man.
Fucking insane. All right,
The Last of Us voice acting and all that voice acting is all good because when Brian mentions it.
Yeah, that's how you know. That's how you know.
That's how you know it's butter, man.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Emilio's.
Well, you already said my answer.
Yeah, Metal Gear, right?
It was Metal Gear Solid, yeah.
Nice.
It's you know, after all of those games, you know, before, 1998 was like the year of games. So like then that game drops, and it's like it made everybody look bad. And even Resident Evil, like Resident Evil's like voice acting was, granted, it was better than the previous one, but not Metal Gear level. And that's, I think, a lot of what was happening at that time is that they, at least for the localization side, they started hiring real actors as opposed to like having the Japanese studios trying to localize it and hiring people who speak English but aren't really actors, you know.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't get Steve from like the next cubicle over, you know.
Exactly.
Like, hey, Steve, you speak English.
Because back in the day, you know, whenever there needed to be voices inside of games, it actually used to be done by a lot of the team, you know, not by full-on professionals. So, you know, what happened in the original Resident Evil? They just hired a bunch of people that just so happen to speak English.
Or what is that that Ubisoft game where they just got a whole bunch of, was it Ubisoft? They got a whole bunch of French Canadians trying to do American accents.
No, that was actually Heavy Rain.
That was Heavy Rain.
That was Heavy Rain.
Oh, that was Heavy. That was Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
They had a couple of they had a lot of Europeans playing the roles, and you could actually hear a little bit of their accents.
I really try.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
Like so that line right there, that horrible line sums up everything about what they tried.
You can hear,
you know?
like Norman Jaden. You can hear
Norman Jaden.
He's trying to do a Boston accent, but it's not.
Oh, it was so bad.
Norman Jaden.
Yeah.
At least they fixed all of those issues in Detroit.
Yeah. Oh, by the time they got to the other one, Beyond Two Souls, they're like, okay,
I couldn't get into it.
But the voice acting wise, they learned their lesson. It's like, okay, get Americans, get real Americans. You know.
The only one who was actually really good was Scott Shelby, but he was an American actor.
Yeah. See, there you go. All right, moving on here. Okay, what actors that have never done work in any video game do you feel would do a good acting job in a game or a video game movie based on a video game? So yeah, what actors out there that has never worked in games that you think would actually do a good job in video games?
Well, I feel like nowadays, you know, you can hire more, more actors to do these sorts of roles. Because back in the day, I mean, especially when it comes to actors, a lot of it's in the person's face as opposed to the voice. And a lot of times, you know, you'll find that a person who is actually a really good actor ends up in a game and they're not exactly very good because they have to act with their voice, and that's a totally different side of acting.
That wizard came from the moon.
Exactly. Yeah, you hear him, Peter Dinklage, who's reading everything as dry as he could possibly read them. I mean,
now is it his fault? Maybe they didn't give him good direction because I know they said he did it from home. So.
Here's the thing, like, it's also, you know, acting is two parts, and a lot of it for stuff that we watch is visual. But when we come to things that are, you know, when we're not really seeing too much of them, a lot of times, you know, a voice actor is a lot better of expressing emotion through their voice than actual, you know, than just doing the physical. So, but nowadays that's a little bit different. Now you get a full performance. You don't just get, a dry performance. So now you can have a dry voice, but you have a really expressive face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So with that in mind, yes.
With that in mind,
great setup, by the way. That was awesome.
Actors I would like to see. I think everybody's, every single actor has kind of delved into sort of video games.
Yeah.
In some way, especially with the Call of Duty series, they just, hey, look, we got Angela Bassett. It's like, what? All right. So yeah, go ahead.
For me, like you bring up a good point, because the one that immediately came into my head, I don't know if he's done any video games, and that's Andy Serkis. I think he'd be perfect for video games.
Andy Serkis has done it. Remember the main bad guy in Heavenly Sword? That was him.
He's all over Heavenly Sword. He's even the dopey like side guys too.
Yeah,
like,
and Andy Serkis is also the main good guy in Enslaved.
Enslaved, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's done both. There's quite a bit that definitely would work. I mean, to be honest, it's like he hasn't done any video games, but Benedict Cumberbatch has done a shitload of motion capture acting.
Yeah,
like
that's
he's
true.
Smaug the dragon, and he's in that new Jungle Book movie playing Ka.
Yeah, by the way, since he's in the zeitgeist right now, I don't know if he's been in any of these. What about Idris Elba?
I have a feeling that Idris Elba's done a voice for something.
Like you said, most of these actors have been in a video game, but I don't think he has been in a major one.
No, I don't.
Something to look up. I'm just, if he wasn't, I'm going with Idris Elba because he's fucking awesome. We're canceling the apocalypse. All right, Chris, anybody come to mind?
I'm trying to think, because most of the guys I'd like to think have done a video game, and even a dry read. Like I would be like, oh, I want William Shatner video game. He's done dry reads for Star Trek games, So
yeah,
and they're not great, but he's done it. Bruce Campbell, he's done all those Evil Dead games. He's appeared in other stuff. So yeah,
Glorious War
says he can do voiceover though.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis says Glorious War. He also says Robert Downey Jr. I'm pretty sure Robert Downey Jr.
He's done a bunch. He's done a bunch.
Pretty sure he's done something.
Jason Statham.
I'm pretty sure he's done something too.
No, he's done little pieces. I mean, like as a leading role.
I'm sure he was in a Grand Theft Auto or something.
No, I wish. He did like Wheelman or that. I think
I
was with Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel did that one.
Yeah, but that's the tricky part with this question is because most actors have done video games of some form.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to jump in? I'm just leaving it up to you guys.
Looking at Idris Elba, he has done something, but it was like minor roles in Modern Warfare 3, FIFA 15, and Rainbow Six Siege.
Okay,
he's credited as like really minor stuff.
Okay, so he has done something.
The voice in the E3 trailer.
Yeah, because the question is specifically never done anything, so that counts. Does
it really count if you did like the voice of an E3 trailer? Like,
yeah, that's true. It's like Soldier number 13 in Call of Duty. Yeah,
it's not like front stage and like focal points on him.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck it. I'm sticking with Idris Elba then. DJ says, who was that? I didn't catch that. Rami Malek. I don't know who that is.
Rami Malek. He's done a bunch. He did. Remember Until Dawn.
Oh, really? Okay, so
yeah, he was the main guy. You know him. That's the guy from the Bohemian Rhapsody and from Mr. Robot.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, he's
by the way,
he's the kid in it.
I saw Bohemian Rhapsody. That dude fucking nailed it, man.
Yeah, I heard it's a good movie.
Yeah,
I heard also here it's also historically inaccurate.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Motley Crue movie they're doing. It's along the same vein.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. They've been developing. That's been in development for years. But again, that movie's been in development for years, but not because of the Queen movie doing so well. They're pushing it faster.
Oh, I'm sure we're gonna see a bunch. I mean, think of all the other ones that need to come out. That Rolling Stone one, a Black Sabbath one needs to be made.
I want to see Ronnie James Dio, man. That's the shit I want.
Real quick. We just talked about it. The whole thing with oh my god, how did I forget about this? It's a joke. The death metal one.
Which one?
Fuck. With Dead. Remember Dead who died?
Yeah.
What's the name? Fuck.
For Mayhem, right?
Band? Mayhem. They got a movie that's coming out. You didn't see that? And it's a joke. It's got what's his name? the guy from Home Alone, his brother,
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin's brother that was also in he did holy shit, I'm blanking on all of this.
He's blanking on everything. You remember the thing with the thing?
It's too much. It's because it was just last minute. Oh, he did a Scott Pilgrim versus the World. He was in that.
Yeah, he's in that.
Yeah, he's in that. So he's in this one, and it's about.
So they're making a movie about mayhem. That's crazy.
Mayhem. You didn't see, but it's a joke way. Well, hold on.
I think I got to do it serious.
So it's like Spinal Tap.
A Death Metal Spinal Tap.
All right. So I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe saying it's a spoof is the wrong term for it, because it's more of like, we know that these kids weren't living the bad life. You know, they were middle class. Everything was fine. They just were, lashing out, and religion and all. It was something they were lashing out. And so they bring some of that into this. So it makes it seem like these are spoiled kids. I'm bringing it up now.
All right. Anyway, while you do that, what about anybody else? What actors do you want to see in there that have never done any Vic gaming stuff or anything prominent in gaming? All right. I guess that's that. We'll move on here. Where the fuck are we? Okay, Weinstein's windowless van makes a return, and both of his questions are about Disney. Interestingly enough, okay, what franchises would you like to see next? Would you like to see in the next Kingdom Hearts?
I don't need any more Kingdom Hearts games. Come on, it's gonna take another fucking 20 years. I'm done after this one. This is the last one as far as I'm concerned.
Like, I ain't waiting no more.
No, we don't need to wait no more for this shit. Are they gonna make 20 different little DS games or Switch games in between?
Yeah, I'm with many. I mean, Kingdom Hearts is my first game, and it's my last. I don't want to play these anymore. It's
not that I don't want to play them anymore, but it's not. It's gonna take a thousand years for the next one to come out. I'll be an old man by then.
Yeah, I got some things to say about Kingdom Hearts. I got some problems with it. I like it, but I'm like, where's the Final Fantasy shit, man? You guys are fucking up this whole crossover.
I think they're kind of keeping it a little bit like, somewhat like the original one. I mean, there were Final Fantasy characters in the original, but they're not at the forefront. They're like part of the cast.
Yeah, which kind of, again, I'm not going to get to it, but it bugs me, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to all these Disney worlds. Why am I not going to Final Fantasy worlds? Why am I not fighting along these characters?
They've never gone to Final Fantasy worlds.
Yeah, and that's why I'm asking.
Final Fantasy characters are in the Kingdom Hearts world, but they are not full-on main characters.
Yeah,
not like the actual Kingdom Hearts characters.
Yeah, that's a problem for me, because I'm okay, again, I expect it to be like a crossover, right? And there's two type of crossovers, right? Either the characters have always known each other from day one because something got disrupted with the timeline, right? Or they get mushed together and you get to see their opposing things. So I was going to this game thinking, okay, I'm going to visit an equal amount of Final Fantasy worlds as I would Disney worlds. Nope, it's just all Disney worlds.
No Kingdom Hearts game have you ever gone to a Final Fantasy world.
So
the Final Fantasy world, anything Final Fantasy that exists in the game was maybe one or two characters, a few characters that were part of the cast, but they were never a part of the main, like the full-on main cast. The main cast is Sora and all his buddies.
And that Ray lets me know, Tony, don't bother with the old games because you're not going to get what you want. Like, I wanted a full crossover. In the
previous games, you're going to see Cloud, because Cloud has a bit of a, here's the thing. Everybody has all of their own, just like how you in Kingdom Hearts, you go to each world and each of those worlds has their own little story that's going on. That's kind of the way the Final Fantasy characters are working too, where it's like, they're here, but they have their own shit going on. They're not that crosses over with your shit, but it's not a main thing.
Yeah, like for example, I'm like maybe 2 or 3 hours away from beating Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm like, where's the Final Fantasy characters? There's no Final Fantasy characters in this fucking game, So kind of disappointed there. So I don't need any more Kingdom Hearts. I'm good, done with that.
Lords of Chaos. That was it. I posted in the trailer, and anybody listening, look that up. Lords of Chaos.
Nice. Does anybody else? I don't think anybody cares about Kingdom Hearts, so we could probably skip this.
No, I'd probably be the only one.
Yeah.
just quick, the thing about that. I haven't played 3, but I don't know if they have a Coco level or anything like that. But that would be pretty interesting.
No, they don't.
Coco? No, they probably don't have a Coco level. I mean, here's the thing: there are characters in the game that are from the other Disney films, but they're not always, you know, you don't have a level that's devoted to them. Like you get a Wreck-It Ralph like assistant at some point that you can use, but you don't go to Wreck-It Ralph World.
Okay, then never mind.
Yeah, but basically, yeah, exactly. So it basically, maybe the thing I wanted from this series has never been there. So
no, you somehow managed, you somehow added this extra additional thing in the game.
I didn't add it. That's what I thought it was. I thought it, because the thing, I'm coming at it from a comic book. You know how comic book crossovers always work, right? So I figured it was the same thing.
Think about Kingdom Hearts this way: it's the Square Enix aesthetic mixed with Disney shit. So what
I think that's a good way for the aesthetic, not necessarily.
Yeah, what sort of things is Square Enix known for? You know, overly complicated stories, accessories. You know,
spiky hair.
Spiky hair. It's those sort of Square Enix aesthetics. You know, with the Disney stuff, and then with a little bit of Square ish stuff kind of sprinkled into the game. You know,
no, I understand that. It's just like basically what I thought and wanted from the series isn't there. So, and you know me, I'm not going to complain about it. It's like, okay, it's not for me. Whatever, move on. You know, it's all good. Hold on. Did I get to the? Yeah, I finished all the Disney worlds, Mike. I just have to do the ending stuff. You know.
Yeah, there's not very many. Disney
but again, you know, because I'm thinking about my own Kingdom Hearts in my own head, right? Like I'm thinking, like, okay, like you have the Kingdom Hearts story, right? That's the glue that ties the two worlds together. And I would like the party to be Sora, a Final Fantasy character, and a Disney character. That's what, like, to me, that's like, it would have been the perfect meld. You know,
you only ever had one or two actual Final Fantasy characters on your crew. I think one point you had Auron in it, you know, with your team, but just for a short section. And then I think everybody else is somebody you meet. Most of the times, it's just Disney characters.
Yeah. Hey, Manny, here you'll enjoy this. Glorious War says that Kingdom Hearts sales are through the roof.
I'm very surprised about this.
Are you? You sent us a picture yesterday of a Kingdom Hearts poster on the subway in New York. So that lets you know.
I mean, it's so interesting because of I've never seen any sort of ads for the previous games.
Well, I was wrong about that one.
Yeah.
I called it. I said Kingdom Hearts is gonna
I'm quite amazed by it because it never.
And Chris, honest, you know, I hardly disagree with you on that one. It's like, no, Chris, I disagree. Kingdom Hearts is gonna fucking sell.
I put my tinfoil hat on. I was like, I bet this. But no, it didn't.
No, somehow, maybe them re-releasing all the games has done something for the franchise. You know, in other words, releasing those collected editions modern.
Well, the smart one was the story so far. Like, that had everything, but these like 2.8, 2.9 recoded. Whatever.
The story so far one is the one that was supposed to be the thing that has everything. But it's like, I mean, all those different things. I mean, you know, maybe it just attracted a whole new batch of fans. I don't know. All I know is that when I walked up on that line, there were a lot of people younger than I was there, and I'm like, "Yo, man, I've been playing this shit from the beginning."
Could it be that a lot of people that are new to it and don't know the RPG elements, and that it's pretty deep, and it's not just a run around and those type of worlds?
The RPG elements are not that fucking deep.
Bro. The RPG
it's a hack and slash game.
It's very light.
It's a hack and slash game, essentially.
Even at the time, that was Square's kind of first action RPG. And in those days, they weren't really known for like games that had actual, you know, controls. It was just all.
Yo, man, don't forget about Chrono Trigger, man.
Chrono Trigger, but you know, I mean, if you asked Square Enix to make a turn-based game, everything that worked out fine. Then you asked them to do some real controls, and most of the time, those games did not have very good controls. Sorry.
Yeah, no, even the new one is kind of funky. By the way, this is going to be blasphemy. I would have actually liked Kingdom Hearts 3 a lot better if it was turn-based. Just saying. You know,
I think for people that are not into that sort of thing nowadays, I think it works. But you know, but the one thing about it is it also feels a bit dated. When I started playing it, I was like, oh, I feel like I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 2 with a really, really shiny graphics.
Okay. Kingdom Hearts 2.9.
Yeah, that
wink, wink. You know.
Yeah, that made me laugh. I was like, oh my god,
that's crazy. All right. Oh damn, what the fuck was that? That was Adam probably. All right. And the last question, unless you guys have any more for us, if Disney decided to once again make video games based off their iconic characters or IPs, what developers do you feel will work best for the classic action platformer genre? I'm just reading it as he wrote it.
So they're going, like, if they were to go back and make like not Epic Mickey, you know, Castle of Illusion or Fantasia or Quackshot, stuff like that. Oh, you know, the sad thing about it is that a lot of these people that made those amazing games from the past don't actually aren't even anywhere. You know what I mean? A lot of them have left the companies that they did, so they wouldn't probably be the same. But ideally, I would say the two, Virgin Interactive, who did the really nicely animated side scrollers, you know, based on Aladdin and The Lion King and all those games, and Capcom, who made, you know, DuckTales and all those really, you know, Rescue Rangers, all those games. So yeah,
I think you stole my answer. Yeah, Capcom. Yeah, they did some great Disney games back in the day. You know.
And Sega had some decent ones too.
Sega, yeah, Aladdin, you know.
I would say if Grimm was still around, because Bionic Commando Rearmed was good. If they had stuck to that would have been fine. But that 3D Bionic Commando, I think,
trash.
There's a woman in my arm.
There's a woman in my arm.
It's my Story had a good game.
Say that again, Carlos.
Toy Story had a good game. The Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I forgot what company did that. Like, they did like digitized artwork in it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep. That's you know, anybody's helping answer. What other companies do you want handling Disney IPs?
Not Konami. I'm about to tell you about that. Don't want. Fuck them.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's. I mean, the usual suspects. Like, I mean, I'd be interested to see what Naughty Dog were like. For example, like.
I don't think I'll ever go back to that. Like Jack and Daxter days or whatever. That's done.
Yeah,
we've played all that blood.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just really like you can just handpick all the top developers and want them to develop something, but it doesn't seem realistic.
I was gonna say Insomniac because they'll still make stuff like that.
Oh yeah, they still make Ratchet and Clank, so it's kind of in that same like space.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Unless Nintendo paired with Disney or they license something, maybe they could do it. But
I don't know when Chris.
Let's get Sony do Star Wars. Uh-oh.
That would cause so much trouble.
It would, man. I would love that just to see the world burn. You know.
Some people want to see the world burn, Master Bruce.
Master Wayne.
Oh, but Tony, you said you don't want that to happen. Yeah, that's when I was being serious. I was making a joke now. Come on now.
Making a joke? What a joke.
On the internet?
Making a funny, man?
You making funny, man? You ain't funny. You ain't Joe Pesci.
Shit, I don't think they remember Joe Pesci.
They probably don't, you know. By the way, Manny, you
remember from Home Alone.
Manny, you realize that a bunch of those kids that you saw on the line for Kingdom Hearts probably weren't even born.
They were probably not born when the first fucking game came out. That's crazy.
So think about it.
I would say it was 20-year-olds and probably maybe lower third, not 30s, but I was the oldest guy in the room.
Yeah, well, that's what happens though. It's like that's how these franchises keep living. They get you and newer fans. You know.
Oh yeah, and look at today. We just saw the trailer and everything come out for Toy Story 4. I'm sure the kids today are like, "What Toy Story? This is great!" Not even knowing the first one that came out fucking years ago. They have to go back on that back catalog, and then Disney will do what they do best and repackage all that. Like, hey, catch up.
Yeah. All right, Barry. He goes. That his question was about Sony making a sequel to Groundhog Day as a VR game. So he goes, I guess we want to see that. with Bill Murray. That'd be
Groundhog
crazy.
Day? What?
No.
Are you talking like Goonies 2? Like, you know, like the Goonies 2 game that they did for Nintendo?
Oh man.
No, but this is not for Disney. It's just in general, you know. That'd be crazy. Damn, Sketch. Tell me how you really feel about Star Wars. I'm not going to read that on air, though. Damn. You guys can see it on the fucking screen. You can see what he said. You know? That shit is crazy. Damn, we don't have any more questions, but we have a lot of people watching.
Yo, man. What's up? What's that?
Yeah.
Just all right. So, who has the license for the Ghost? Is it still Activision for the Ghostbuster games? Now that we know that this movie is definitely coming, you know there's going to be some kind of game tie-in, but hopefully
Activision did not. It was actually THQ.
Well,
that had it.
Because the last one that came out, remember the Ghostbusters the movie? That one was Activision.
Oh,
hey,
so
it's the Ghostbusters.
If they had it, then they had it.
But then there was that weird horrible knockoff straight to console version, but it was just a digital release. They never did a physical. It was really
straight
bad.
to console version.
Straight to console version.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going in that route. That's going to be a thing soon. You know, it's like
straight to console.
Retailer. Straight to
retail.
Think about it. Most of the movies that Netflix says that are like, put the quotes up, all Netflix original, those are straight to DVD movies. Now it's just branded Netflix movies.
Well, I mean, a lot of times what Netflix does is they buy movies from
exactly.
They'll buy movies from the big studios that they don't want to release. Yep. They don't think that sometimes the studios don't think that the movies will do well, and they're just like, fuck whatever. Then Netflix is gonna hey, we'll buy it for you.
Yeah, or some movies that were in theaters in Europe, but definitely didn't make it here. So they're like, all right, we'll put it on.
That's what happened to that third Cloverfield movie. Everybody figured out, oh, this is a piece of shit. All right, what do we do with this? Bury it? And then Netflix comes in, hey, by the way, guys, we'll buy it from you.
Want to make a deal?
By the way, go ahead, because Glorious Word just I think saved the show.
Just wondering, because you're into movies and stuff over there. Did you see anything a while ago for Final Score about West Ham and it had Batista in it? Was that in theaters over there?
Not ring a bell.
It doesn't ring a. All right, I just watched that last night. It was pretty cool, but it was like they're at West Ham and the whole movie takes place at the stadium.
Oh, okay. I see. I seen the poster for it, but I don't remember seeing it in cinemas.
But you saw it. If there's a poster, usually that means it was in a cinema, right? And unless I don't know if they. All right, so because I always assumed, I was like, man, this is all West Ham. Everything's West Ham. It made a lot of references. They had some players in it. I'm like, this was definitely in theaters over there.
And West Ham making me hungry, man.
Oh, West
Ham. Yeah, I want some Western ham, son. By the way, Glorious War asked, did Chris cover the financials earlier in the show? No, he did not.
He usually does the financials on the main show.
Well, you know, I could. What was the question? Like, I could talk about GameStop, EA, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because remember, Nintendo released their sales basically. How many Switches? It was 32 million.
Total.
Total, yes,
lifetime for the Switch.
And PlayStation's was 94 million or something like that. So just give us your take on those sales numbers, I guess.
I mean, here's the thing. I think with Nintendo's projection for the quarter, which was like 20 million or something, and they hit 17.2 or something like that, I think they never adjusted those projections because companies know well ahead of time when they're not going to hit, and they'd rather just take the penalty on lowering the projection than underperforming, right? So my tinfoil hat theory is they were counting on Metroid Prime 4 having a solid date, a release date soon, and that was going to push systems, and that didn't happen. They fucking canceled the game, and they didn't have time to fucking adjust their projections. So then it came, they undersold. With Sony has good momentum. They've had solid titles, and the thing is with real momentum, not like what Nintendo thinks momentum is. I don't know what their definition is, because you need good online, you need good multiplayer and multi-plat support, and that's what Sony has built up from the beginning. So when you get Red Dead and you get all this stuff, Anthem, people are jumping on to PlayStation because they want to play with everyone else, and that has just built and built and built. So the their ecosystem is just getting bigger. And then kids who get their first systems, whatever, like we're always saying, somebody's always turning 16 or 17, whatever. So what are they going to buy? They're going to buy with their friends, their older brothers, whatever, whoever's playing. Like, oh, more people on PlayStation, they're going to do that. So that's momentum, right? And that's what's carried them in like so far. So they'll hit a good amount, and I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think they'll hit PS2 numbers, but they're going to beat the Wii. That was my prediction. They have to pass 101 million roughly, and I think they'll do that.
That's happening this year.
Yeah.
I believe that.
They'll beat the Wii, so
there you go.
See, and this is why I'm surprised if they do release this Switch Mini. I don't see people clamoring for something smaller. I think like I said earlier, I think it's just they're going to remove the Joy-Cons because they're assuming, hey, you already have all that. We're stripping all that other stuff out. This is just a base unit, and it'll probably just be more of the screen. They'll reduce the bezel, so then it's sort of bigger, but then smaller.
I mean, I would only see that making sense if they discontinue the 3DS, right? So what you would do is you release a Switch Mini, right? Joy-Cons are fused on there, which I don't know how that works, because how are you going to have your rooftop party games at that?
Yeah, no, that defeats the whole point of it. That defeats switching. You can't switch it then.
I also heard another rumor that this mini version won't have a dock, which is insane. So you can't put on your TV. It's 100% portable. That doesn't make sense to me.
No, unless it's assuming you have it. That's what I'm thinking. This is going to be a stripped down. Wait. You better have a dock. You better have a Joy-Con.
It's like a 2DS. It's
damn,
like okay.
But, who has a dock by itself, right? You already have a fucking Switch. If you have the dock, nobody who's paying $90 for that shit.
Hey, remember when they were selling the 3DS without a charger cable?
Power charger,
yeah. They still do. A lot of places, a lot of people do. They would. Yeah, they still do that.
Please, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, Chris, I also want your take on the whole situation with PSN making more money than Xbox and Nintendo combined. Because again, the big news was how well Nintendo is doing, but no one's talking about the fact that PlayStation 4 still outsold it last year overall worldwide, and that PSN is just making a shit ton of money. No one's really talking about that.
I mean, look at the total sales of PlayStation, and then you would think that maybe at best, out of that, 80% are still engaged, right? They're still actively playing. Like you have some people lapse or whatever, actively playing. And then of that, even if you say like, well, only 80% of those are paying actively for PSN. I think it's more than that, probably. So you have something like 70 million people with PSN subscriptions by itself, not to mention the kickbacks from licensing deals and whatever that Sony's doing when they put stuff on the store. And they're constantly running sales. So they're making money on the back end from that. But all those PSN subscriptions, people usually buy annual stuff. But even if they're buying 3 months or whatever, which actually burns more money, because if you keep buying 3 month subscriptions, you actually pay more than the guy who buys 12 months. So think about all that revenue, right? From all right, I'll just add it up real fast. Like
apparently, Big Mike says they made $12 billion last year. PSN,
$12 billion.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So I think it's like that's all active subscriptions, whatever, and engagement on PSN, and that's huge revenue. Why nobody's talking about it, I don't know. Like honestly, what does Nintendo Online offer?
They don't offer nothing.
And hopes and dreams. That's what they offer. Hopes and dreams. Because people are hoping that some crazy shit happens and that we're going to get themes and all kinds of crazy stuff happening with it. And none of it has come to pass in this whole year.
Wait, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Carlos.
This will be real quick. Are they giving out those? Remember, they said they're going to provide like old school games, like Nintendo games, with the subscription. Because I do. The Nintendo Online.
They said they were.
No, yeah, you get old ones. A few other ones again, but that's just NES stuff. We don't have anything else from like Super NES or 64 or any of that stuff. It's just old ROMs.
Yeah,
and they're not even the good ones.
I heard the ROMs are not good. Hey, Chris, here's another.
Because
go ahead, Adam, and then I'll ask Chris a question.
They don't come with all the goodies. They don't come with the goodies like with the arcade classic versions where you could have the option for vertical view and stuff.
Oh, they're not giving you that shit. They're not giving you that shit.
They're not giving you that shit, and that sucks. It's like,
they're giving you Balloon Fight, and you're gonna love it.
Balloon Fight.
So Chris, and this is tied with everything. He asked, why weren't gaming journalists keeping the same energy with the reporting of game companies' financials? I saw a lot of outlets covering Nintendo with glee.
Oh, that's just their favoritism, man. They're signal boost Nintendo all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
Or let me offer a alternative outlook. Maybe because that no one thought that Nintendo was going to do this well. Like, who actually said that? Hey, Nintendo's going to do like smashingly well. Like, no one expected this. Like, this is literally the story that no one thought could happen and would happen.
We all thought we didn't expect it. But
no,
there's
Brian,
plenty of people.
Yeah, no, Brian, I agree with you, but that's after the first year. I can understand that. 3 years in now, and people are still doing that.
Well, it keeps on like doing well. Like, that's the thing. Like, no one expecting this. Like, if like tapered down, like, okay, cool, it's tapering down, it's quiet now, it's fine, but it's not. It's like, hey, you know what? Like, best selling games on MPDs, like their exclusives are high selling. Like, no one expecting this, and I think that's why they are covering it. Okay, yes, there are some outlets that probably do have a bias towards it. Again, that's outlets, they have biases, but to me, it just seems like, hey, like, this is Nintendo. Like, no one expected them to do this well. Like,
and you think,
especially after the Wii U failed so badly.
Yeah, and you think the reason they're not really giving the same energy towards Sony is because it's already expected? You think that's possible?
Yes, it's Sony. It's like the best selling console this generation. Like, they have the most numbers, they have the biggest games. The games are everywhere. Like, everyone talks about their games. Like, you look at breakdowns of like sales, it's like 70%, 30% on PlayStation. It's like everyone knows that PlayStation are just dominating. So it's kind of like, hey, okay, they did well. We know that. They have no real competition. Like, is Microsoft really competing? Not really. Is Nintendo? Not really. So hence, it's like, it's expected them to do well. So hence, it's not a surprise when they do that well. It's like, hey, they sold a lot more. Like, of course they did. Like, it is the console in the zeitgeist. Like, it makes sense.
I think that's a fair assessment. Because even think about it like this, even on Throwdown, right? When was the last time we talked about, like, okay, basically we only talk about Sony's PlayStation 4 sales when it's like a milestone. We don't talk about them every month because there's no point to talk about every month because we already know who won. Like, when we talk about MPDs, we never say, hey, this console won. We already know what won that month. We never talk about it. So I think you have a good point there, We
don't like note it when like they don't win. It's like, oh yeah. Sony didn't win this month. And I was like, oh, really? Like, huh, that's odd. Like, why is that?
Yeah,
and on the odd occasion where the Xbox wins, that shit will get fucking blown up.
Yeah, that'll be the featured story. But you're right about that. With Nintendo, it's like, man, they're still doing good. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, you're right about that.
Especially I'm not surprised that they have that much revenue going through PSN. I mean, one, they're gatekeeping the online games for that, no reason, and two, the price went up again, so hence it makes sense. Like, okay, cool. Like, they have the most players, they have prices that have gone up for like the second time in like 4 years, and they're gatekeeping the online, so it makes sense. Like, hey, of course, it's a pure numbers game.
It's a numbers game.
This is also our last month of having PS3 games included with Plus.
I heard about that. That's right. We talked about that almost like a year ago. That's right.
I thought it was in March.
Wait, is it PS3 or
this is it?
What about
this? Is it? Yeah, this is it. What you have today, that's
and
it.
What about Vita games? Those are gone too, right?
It is gone and PS3.
Damn.
Yep.
PSN is already bad when it comes to those games.
Yo, man, lower that price.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yo, man, I ain't getting as much free shit. Lower that price.
But it is funny with the whole thing with the Switch, especially when we live in an age where it's all about how many cores you have and your frame rate. Are you 4K?
CUDA cores.
You 4K? Here's the K.
Well, how many Ks you got, son? How many Ks
you got? Here's the thing, though. It has nothing, when it comes to consoles, it doesn't matter how powerful the goddamn thing is. Is as long as it has the games. It always has been that way.
Again, I find it funny, Manny. You're right about that. I find it funny that we have literally the most powerful console out in the world, and it's getting destroyed by the weakest one that's out in the market. The
funny thing is that it's even weaker. Like, the hilarious thing is, it is essentially a Ouya, but it's a gimped Ouya, which is because because they want to keep the battery life. So they gimped an Ouya, and then it's still doing better.
Yo, because the shit got Mario in it. That's why. They got Zelda in it. They got Pokemon in it.
It's got Mario in it. It's got Zelda. It's got all these things. That
did you see that report that the Pokemon is slumping in Japan this go around?
Excuse me?
Not pulling the big numbers. Yeah, they're shocked by it. It's not pulling the big numbers.
Wow.
Well,
I'll find that report.
We'll wait for the RPG because this is just another remake. This is just Pokemon.
They're like, we played this game already.
You know, so they might have burnout on like, yeah, they played it and they don't want to play another remake. So you gotta wait for the actual new Pokemon game.
Chris, just watch your language. When you said they got burnout, it got me excited for a second. I was like, oh hold on. He's not talking about the game. He ain't talking about the game.
What is it, burnout?
Who got burnout? Let me get that shit. I want it. Oh man. All right, I think that's gonna do it for us. So yeah, Thursday we're definitely gonna talk about this whole not Titanfall situation. You know, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. I think they're gonna be streaming it on the Twitch. So check it out, and we'll definitely have our thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that article was on Nintendo Life about the sales slumping, Pokemon sales.
Interesting, man. Yeah. Oh yes. Oh, thank you, Mike. Almost forgot. No, yeah. Big Mike in the house. What do we think? This last question of the show, because we are going to wrap it up now. What do we think of the latest Crackdown 3 footage?
Have you guys seen I didn't even. I have the Game Pass, so I'm already in. I didn't even bother looking because I'm not expecting much from what I saw the last gameplay, which was disappointing.
Yo, Adam, this is even worse.
No,
it was. Oh, I saw some
comments. People were saying it looked like a 360 game, man.
No,
if you watch the stream for Anthem, you got my live reaction impressions on that shit. That shit was fucking. It looked like a fucking
shit.
It looked like a Ratchet and Clank game that for the PS3.
Oh man, the quote Stewart.
Except,
yo, Adam, it was basura.
Oh shit!
It looked bad.
It just proves it was a one-hit wonder. That's it.
It is a one-hit wonder. Like, yo, with the destructible environments, it looks like the buildings are made out of paper, or mache, or something. You know? It looks bad. It looks like, here's the thing. It looks like a 360 game in a first generation 360 game, like this before Gears of War. You know. It looks bad, dude. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it looks bad. But like Adam said, hey, I got Game Pass. I'll check it out, you know.
Yeah.
But from what I saw,
we released this PlayStation 2 game cheeks.
You know? The destruction doesn't hurt you. That's what Big Mike says. Agents of Mayhem looks better than the latest Crackdown gameplay.
Oh, no. Yeah. I mean, what this has, the only thing I can think of that it has going is that it does have the jump in and jump out 4-player. And that's what was fun in the first one, where you can get in the car and then your buddy can pick up the car and throw the car on the roof and, you know, set up those type of things, those moments. That's, man, if Mayhem had 4-player co-op instead of that jump in and jump out and swapping out, it would have been awesome.
Mayhem?
Agents of Mayhem, yeah. I remember I watched I remember, Tony, I watched you do your live stream.
Yeah, I liked Agents of Mayhem.
Yeah. And I kept shitting on it in the chat there. I was like, this is whack. You're like, I love this game. I was like,
well, you know what, Adam? Now you're going to get a whacker game.
Oh, man.
I always... listen, let's just be honest. The only reason Crackdown people even care about it is because it came with a demo of fucking Halo. That's the only reason people care about it.
But you got to think nobody knew.
It was the Halo demo.
It was an unknown IP, and they were trying to combat the superhero game that PlayStation had. What's his name? Cole. I'm trying to. Infamous.
No, Crackdown was before that. Crackdown was before Infamous.
Really?
Yes.
I could have swore that there was already one Infamous because I remember when I played Infamous, I was like,
wasn't Crackdown like almost a launch game?
Yeah, very close. Like,
no, shit. When did no?
No, it was. It had the demo or the beta for Halo 3. Halo 3 came out in 2007.
Okay, let's do this. Okay,
Xbox came out
February 2007 is when Crackdown came out, right? Let's see when the first Infamous came out.
2007, I think.
2009, 2 years later.
Oh, shit. Damn. Well, there was something else that came up because I remember when I played, I was like, "Oh, that reminds me of another superhero game." But whatever.
Yeah, but let's just be honest.
Prototype? What is it? Prototype?
No, Prototype came out around Infinite.
Shit. Yeah, well, there's something else, but it was fun. It was unique with the vehicles, the fact that you could upgrade them and you could see them upgrade as you get in. Everybody had it.
Yeah, but I think what really happened is people bought the game for the Halo demo. They were like, "Hey, this game ain't bad." You know, I think that's what happened. That's why they made a sequel. But then the sequel, like you said, Adam, wasn't that good.
We knew it was falling apart when the original creators left, and they were like, "Oh, we had a new world planned out. We scrapped this, so we're going to be in the same world." And literally, that's what you were. You were in the same environment, same locations, just with these weird mutated zombies in it. It was whack.
So yeah, from what we saw, no es bueno.
Not the butter game.
No, that's not. That's fucking rancid butter, man. Shit's turned. Somebody left that shit in the fridge too long. Bad. You know, shit's bad, man.
Milk is gone to bad.
But you know, we'll play it ourselves because most of us have Game Pass here. So you know, we'll play it. We'll let you know.
And that's 2 weeks from now, right? That's the 14th, I think.
15th. By the way, 15th. February 15th, every game comes out. February 15th, we got Crackdown, we got Far Cry, we got Metro, Jump Force. They're all coming out the same day. Fucking crazy, man.
Jump Force.
And you know what? If you want our actual impressions of Crackdown, come watch us stream it. It's co-op, right? Let's go.
Yeah. That's 4-player co-op. That's the beauty of that game.
They have crossplay. Of interest.
They do?
No, I'm asking.
PC?
Oh, I don't know. On my PC?
Yeah, because again, it's on PC and
if it's
Xbox. So.
If it's Play Anywhere, it probably will. Because I think... Actually, I don't know. I mean, I would assume so, but I mean, I've been...
Yo, fuck this shit. I'm calling rank right now. I'm tossing it a question. What you
talking about?
What do you guys think about the fact that Xbox is going to cut crossplay between PC and Xbox One of Sea of Thieves?
Oh,
this isn't a rumor. This is official. It's going to happen within the next couple of weeks. And apparently the main reason is, and I wish Brett was here for this, cheaters, PC cheaters.
Yay! Game as usual.
Oh man, what do you guys think about that? One of the main features, and Brian, this is something you and Brett always talked about. It's like it's not going to kind of kill the PC community because they're not going to have anybody to play with now, just themselves.
Well, they can be like those guys on GTA 5 who all cheat and be like, "Hey, just play with yourself, you damn ass cheaters." So, and plus, who is actually still playing the game? I know it had the big Twitch thing.
Hey, Summit 1G is still playing it. Brian's like, who?
I'm still playing.
The motherfucker. Listen, right now, Summit 1G is playing Sea of Thieves with 37,999 players viewers. I am not making this up. I'm looking at the numbers right now. So Summit 1G still playing
most games.
Yeah. So Summit 1G, there you go. So
there's more people watching him than everyone watching Dota 2.
Yeah.
Was it they said? What was it last time we noticed? There was more people watching him than actually playing the game.
I think probably
because we looked up and we saw how many people were playing because you could see it on PC and it's there was less people playing it, more people watching him.
There was this report saying that I don't know if you guys saw it, and I don't know if I have the numbers right, but it said over 9 billion hours watching Twitter.
Yeah. Wow. I saw that.
What about not played though, right, Carlos?
Yeah, exactly. It's like all of those. Just watching people play games. I wonder how many people actually played games.
No man, who playing it?
John, I think I told you guys
it's becoming a lost art, man. I'm telling you, 10 years from now, it's just going to be a select few that actually get to play games because everyone just wants to watch everyone else play it.
I had a buddy at work, and he's like there with Red Dead and a few others. He doesn't have time to play, so he just watches playthroughs.
Wow.
That's it.
He doesn't have time. He doesn't have time to play, so he has time to watch people play him.
Yeah, well, for that he could just fast forward through certain parts if he gets bored, and he doesn't have to spend the money on buying it. So he'll just watch and play it.
I guess.
But then, are you really experiencing the game, or I don't know.
I understand if you're intrigued about the story, if you wanted to see story aspects, but that's about it. But then you can just fucking YouTube that shit.
I don't know. I'm sorry. To me, watching a game is the equivalent of hearing a very detailed movie synopsis. It's not the same thing, you know? I don't care that you're looking at it. If you're not playing it, you're not really experiencing it, you know? And I'm sorry if I sound like an asshole. That's just the way I think. It's like, you're not really experiencing that shit. Like, watching somebody play Resident Evil 2 is not the same as playing that fucking shit. You feel that terror, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
It's the same what people say about books that get converted into movies. It was like, the movie doesn't compare to books. If you want the full experience, read the book. You know, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so no. So, Brian, to answer your question, no, it's not the same fucking thing. You know, so but again, I'm not gonna begrudge somebody if that's the only thing they could do. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I'm not doing it. By the way, a little bit off topic, but you know, still on it. My nephew's here, right? And so he came over, and then you know, my younger nephew came over. He's 8 years old, right? Obsessed with Fortnite, loves that shit, right? But the 18-year-old, he's like me. He's like, what the fuck is this shit? So I'm wondering if it's a generational thing with Fortnite, you know, because the little guy loves Fortnite. He absolutely loves it. And the 18-year-old, he's a competitive gamer. He's like, Fortnite is trash.
I'm sure it's also with his friends, what his friends are playing, and maybe all his friends are into it. So he's like, oh, they're all playing this, and this is what I'm going to be playing. As opposed to 18-year-old, that's not what he's into.
Yeah, because the 18-year-old, all his buddies are like, yeah, Fortnite is trash. So they're all saying that, you know. It's interesting, you know.
Baby's first was it multiplayer MMO? I don't know.
Yeah, and he was talking to
first
multiplayer. And he was talking to these idiots. I'm like, don't talk to these motherfuckers, man. He's talking to these other 5-year-olds playing Fortnite. It's crazy. But yeah, Sea of Thieves losing crossplay. That's supposed to be like a big selling point. You know, I wish I could have got Brett's input on this one. Very interesting.
It's funny that, of course they are. They're cheaters.
They're cheaters.
But I wonder if this is temporary. If it's like, hey, we got to fix it. There's ways of blocking
it. They gave no indication.
Then you're basically saying that the hackers win.
Yeah, basically.
The cheaters win. That put in the trainers on the PC. You're saying it's like, we can't fix it. Goodbye.
Yeah. It's interesting, man.
You know, but Blizzard did that with Diablo. That was one of their things, because before on the console you were able to send gifts back and forth, so people were hacking certain items and then mailing it. Because you know, you ever play Diablo 3?
No, I don't care.
There's a mailbox in there, and you can send mail to friends that you have.
Yo, somebody clipping their nails. What the fuck is that noise?
That's a pen.
Okay,
I'm writing about my life story. You remember, I'm still working on that book.
Okay,
so then with the mail, you can mail people items. And I remember a buddy of mine, when I was playing on PlayStation, he was like, yo, I'm going to send you some stuff. I'm like, all right. And he sent me gear that was all broken. Like, it said it was low level this, low level that. But every time I would hit an enemy, instant death. I'm like, what is it? Oh, it's this hacked gear that I got. I'm not using it anymore, so I'll just give it to you. And that came from the PC world. And that's in my PlayStation game. So I think to avoid things like that. So it is what it is. They took that away. So I guess it's some kind of reason there too, that where they're like, you know what, we don't have the money or the resources to put in to try to resolve this issue. So it's better just to cut the cord.
Cut that cord.
Cut the cord now.
Yeah. Hold on. I just saw something that's very offensive to me as a Dominican. Carlos, I know you saw it too. My night's all fucked up right now. Thank you, Big Boss, for sending this. So he sent me a video of somebody that had like a plate, and one of the side things was platanos, right? This motherfucker grabs the platanos. He goes, "This is the only way to eat platanos." He throws them in the garbage. Nah, son.
I'm gonna slap that.
Come on, man. What the fuck?
Were they hard as salt?
They were Maduro, son. The sweet ones.
Well, maybe were they? I don't know.
Maybe he don't like the sweet one.
Nah, son.
Either that, or maybe they made them wrong or something.
Man, nah, son. Nah, man.
If they're dry, if they're sweet and dry,
he said this is the only way to eat plantain. Nah, this guy's offending me. I said delete your account.
Is this guy like Dominican or anything?
I can't tell from his hand, you know, because he it's like dark. You know, he's black, but Dominicans could be black too. I don't know.
Yeah, man, people come in all colors.
But then again, my dad, and it shames me to admit this, he didn't like him either. I'm like, yo, how you gonna be Dominicans? You don't like platanos, man?
You don't have to like it, but throw it away. I mean, that's a waste of food.
Give it to yeah. That's offensive.
Somebody made it for him.
Friggin' Chancleta would have come out and slapped him upside the head.
Yeah. By the way, you guys. By the way, that's how the Dominicans. You notice how the Puerto Ricans react. They're like, "What the fuck?" And Chris is Caribbean too. He knows what's up.
Yeah, Chris knows what's up, man.
Chris is Caribbean. He knows that. Yep.
Yeah, those are delicious.
Yeah.
I think the one thing I never liked was pateles. I just.
Are you kidding me?
I can't eat that shit.
Wow. But to be fair, you know what, Adam? You know what I don't like? I don't like mondongo. Because you know what mondongo is? It's fucking like stomach.
Snout. It's like guts of a pig or some shit.
Chill with that shit.
Yeah, man.
I mean, maybe if you fry it up, we could negotiate. But the way you make it and like that, boil it up, nasty.
Yeah.
Calamari. Someone made calamari.
Squid.
Oh,
that's
you mean pulpo?
Pulpo, yeah.
Pulpo. Oh, it's great to eat, but it's hard.
Yeah, chill. I don't fuck with that shit, man.
Like it just made same thing with calamari. You don't want to see that squid in there.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, listen,
you
got more than 4 limbs. I ain't eating you, man. Fuck that. All right, Big Boss fucked up my whole night right now, man. Fuck this.
He's like, yes.
Damn, I want chicharron.
Yeah, son.
I haven't had that in a long time.
Shit with hot sauce, man. Fuck.
Oh,
shit.
Man.
We're going to turn Carlos into a Dominican, man.
That was this Dominican spot I used to go to that was right off Delancey Street. And they had chuletas.
Oh, my God. Yo, Carlos, I was thinking about this during dinner tonight. I'm like, yo, like, if I was, like, I obviously have to say Dominican food is the best because that's just, my tribe demands that. But, yo, if it wasn't for that, Mexican food, man, would be my second favorite. Mexican food is the fucking shit.
Oh, did you see during the Super Bowl, Carlos, the avocados Mexican? Did you see that?
Nah, what happened?
It's a commercial and it's showing avocado and everybody eating avocado. It was like, avocados Mexican too. And some shit like that. It was so crazy. I'm like, what are they trying to promote here? But
they're probably selling avocados and like from a Mexican brand. I don't know.
It was
it is true. Avocados do come from Mexico, and chocolate and sodas, tomatoes and
aguacate, man.
Sodas jalapenos. Like
I think it was one of those jabs of like, from what I saw of it, it was like how this whole anti-Mexican of all the things coming off the board. It was like, hey, look, we got avocados. You love avocados. I was like, what is this?
Burritos are trending in the U.S. now.
Oh, there's burrito spots everywhere. There was a place. What was it? There was one downtown called Burritoville. I think they became a chain. I think there's a chain of them.
Burritoville, man.
Man, Mexican food, man. I want some enchiladas right now. Quesadillas. I'll eat all that shit.
That's another chain. Qdoba.
Give me that shit right now, son. Oh yeah, what the fuck? Who? No, nobody's. Richard needs to be in here, man. So we can tell you guys about that Mexican spot we hit in Anaheim. Oh my God, that was ridiculous. I paid like $5. I got like 10 pounds worth of food, and it was delicious.
Big Mike, I prefer. Yeah. Big Mike says I prefer burritos over tacos. I prefer tacos over burritos.
Oh yeah, I agree. Ooh, that's Carlo, you fucking me up right now. That's like choosing your child, But I think I'm gonna go with tacos too. Just by a smidge, because they're more fun to eat, if that makes sense. Like to me, burritos, that's a serious meal, man. Go ahead. Like tacos, are like eating a pizza. If you feel good eating it,
Yeah, and you can mix and match a lot with tacos. You can have like 2 tacos from this. Like let's say you can have like fucking beef tacos or tongue tacos or fucking chorizo tacos, or like you can have like mix and match like all of them, right? But a burrito, it's like you can have 1, maybe 2, and that's it.
No, chicken nacho platter for me. Oh, those are good if they make them right. Nice stack with olives and all kinds of goodies in it. Oh, that's great.
And you guys like. There's still another world when it comes to Mexican food, man. They just
the whole other level, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm typing a Big Boss right now, and the Puerto Ricans on the podcast got fucked up too.
Oh, there was a place in Harlem that I used to go to called El Paso.
There's a place where I live that's called that.
There you go. Yeah. It was a hole in a wall spot, but man, they had some good Mexican food.
You didn't get it, did you, Adam?
Yeah, Mighty Nerd.
No, I know he's in Texas.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, Mighty Nerd. The Coalition didn't review the movie. There you go. Here's my review. It sucked. Don't go watch it.
What movie is this?
Predator, the new one.
Predators.
Yeah, the Predator.
Yeah, the Predator. They added a lot of comedy. What's it?
Too much comedy.
Keelan Peele, whatever his name is, whichever one it is.
All the main characters were they were all comic relief, man. It's fucking stupid. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Key and Peele, Jordan Peele is gonna be hosting Twilight Zone.
Here's a fun fact. Who was the last guy that directed that hosted Twilight Zone? Let's see if who remembers this.
It was
Carl Sagan.
No,
I know Manny knows.
Man, Vin Diesel.
No.
Why would Vin Diesel be hosting Twilight Zone?
They brought back Twilight Zone years ago. Over 10 years ago. It was on Channel 9 over here. You know, WP. Was it UPN? It was a very famous actor that hosted it.
Is he like?
And the only reason I'm bringing this up because I saw some people going, "Oh, we finally have a black person that's hosting." I'm like, really? You guys don't know your history, do you?
All right, wait.
There's your clue.
Give us a hint.
He just gave us a huge hint.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
No,
he's not. He's an
actor. I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He's an actor.
How about
he's an actor?
Morgan Freeman.
No.
Kevin Hart.
Morgan Freeman.
Wesley Snipes.
I'm gonna give an obvious thing. You guys are gonna get. I'm gonna name a movie he did, and you guys are gonna get it, even though it's kind of. No.
I mean, you can even.
Brian. He was in Black Panther.
Forrest Whitaker.
Yes.
There you go.
There you go. Yes.
Forrest Whitaker.
Because I saw some people go, we finally have a black person, hosting Twilight Zone. I'm like, what about Forrest Whitaker? He don't count.
I mean, you forgot about Forrest?
People don't.
You know what?
Is
that
history,
even the truth? I don't remember ever seeing that on reruns. Because once it disappeared, it disappeared. The original ones is constantly on reruns.
There's also the '80s one too. That also doesn't get shown.
I like they did a really. You could remember the episode where basically the town thought that like they didn't know if there was a Russian in between, like a communist and stuff, and they were fighting each other, and at the end you find out it was aliens pitting them against each other. So in the updated one, it was terrorists, but it was still, and it was the government doing that experiment on them. Like they're like, who's the terrorist in the town? So they were all fighting each other. And then when the camera pans back, you think it's gonna be aliens, but no, it's the U.S. government testing shit. I'm like,
there was a bunch of those. Remember the pig face one? That was another surprise. Now here's the thing: I saw the trailer for it today, and that's also on there. That'll be on. Well, that's on their other service place, CBS thing. But is this going to be a remake, or are they just going to redo I bet you they're going to mix and match, like some new ones, some old ones.
I'm like the way they did before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because people want to see some of the classic ones just updated.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I would like to see a lot of those. Like, remember the book nerd?
Mm-hmm.
And he broke his glasses and stuff.
Yeah. I could see now. Yeah, I can know there was time.
It's not the time of the world. All the time to read.
It'll be interesting.
Or the aliens with the giants. Remember?
Yeah, man, that was crazy, right? And they were like the United States Air Force and shit. Oh man, Twilight Zone, the original was so fucking good.
Oh, it was so good. It was so
good. When it hits the lips, it's so good, man. All right,
it was Forrest. I just checked on.
Yeah.
The internet. That's it. The internet.
Yes.
The internet said yes. It was
him. I forgot Ghost Dog used to.
Yeah, for Ghost Dog. That was going to be my.
Ghost Dog used to host the Twilight Zone, man.
By the way, that was going to be my clue. That was going to be my clue to you guys. So I was going to say Ghost Dog.
The Crying Game. That's what I know him from. Remember that? The Crying Game. I had my share.
I just remember like the Crying Game. All I know about that is a joke from The Simpsons. Like I just want it to be known that the chick in the Crying Game was a man. And everybody's like, boo. I mean, man, was that a good movie? Yay!
It was a good movie, but it was a shocker. He didn't know. The whole point was that he didn't know that it was a guy, and he was freaking out. And he was like, "Oh, I thought you knew." But he fell in love with the person, and he just said, "Shit!" He put it aside because it was, he just fell in love. The heart wants what the heart wants.
Oh man! All right, man.
It's like a TV show where they had that. Where it's like they had like all these contestants like finding for like this love, like there's one girl, and then turned out like she was a dude beforehand. And
I don't know what show is this.
That sounds like a really interesting.
Save me.
That's a swerve show.
That's an interesting version of The Bachelor.
Oh yeah,
fuck. You know. All right, man. You got you. All right. So thank you for watching and listening. Leave us your questions in the comment section of this episode on YouTube or over on the Coalition. We'll answer them on next week's show. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight joined by Emilio Lopez.
I'll see you later, guys.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Deuces.
Adam Vale.
Have a good week, everybody.
And Brian Manjoma.
Oh, if Takeshi 69 is 22 now and he gets arrested and charged and put in prison for 47 years, how old is he when he comes out?
I don't know. Is he gonna? Is he still gonna be? Is he still gonna be American?
Oh, I think that's Savage 21.
Oh man, I can't do math. We'll figure this out after the show, though. All right, guys. Later.
Later, guys.
Peace.
Leaders.
Deuces.
Deuces.